if the Eastern Palace was a pedestal dungeon itself, because you'd never be able to access it.
Exactly, and critical things to keep in mind. One, you will not know. Apparently we are starting, so
Yep, we're off.
We're off just fine. I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit more of an explanation since we just see rupees at the start. Big time keys to keep in mind is the Swamp Palace key, because that is the only key in the gateway to the Swamp Palace. Second key, of course, is Ganon's Tower. That can be anywhere throughout Hyrule. And the third thing to keep in mind is you do not know what dungeon is what. For instance, Eastern Palace, you could look at the map right now and you're not going to know if it's a pendant or a actual crystal. So they have to find the map in Hyrule to find out what that is. Music will not tell you what that is.
That's true. So, music for dungeons has been randomized, and the objective of the dungeon is hidden until you find the map.
Exactly. And we see that we have a big heart on Uncle, so we're just taking a little piece of love there.
Our uncle loves us.
And the tree pull, big key to Swamp Palace. See, that's
the wrong key. We need the little key to Swamp Palace.
Yeah, that big key only gets you literally one item, so there's really not much for that, and it's actually not required to beat the dungeon. Same thing for the big key to Skull Woods. And
looks like the Lumberjack check is just a heart piece.
Yeah, just a heart piece there at Lumberjack. Real quick, what's your prediction for the Swamp Palace key? Do you think it's going to be somewhere trolly?
I want to see it in the dig spot, and I want to see the shovel behind the witch, and I want to see the mushroom in Turtle Rock.
Oh wow, we want these runners to literally run. So, and real quick shout out to Call Me Hefe and Math Girl 718. They are doing your tracking today. They're going to be doing an amazing job. Not much to track right now, considering they haven't found a single item. It's been nothing but bombs, hearts, and magic and rupees. That's it.
A lot of bombs for Azazaz. He got lucky on the crab pull. Lots of bombs there.
And notice.
A couple of our people heading into Kakariko Village shortly, so we should be getting quite a few items very, very fast.
And I want to point out, Recitador just went right past that compass. For the good runners, for the runners who've done this a lot, or even for just a few times, compasses aren't that important because all they do is just tell you how many items. That's it. So, not very important. So you're probably going to see a lot of those. If you can skip them, skipped. Like KillerApp just did as well. And we're getting our Kakekrio check coming from Recitador first. sab0tender's coming from the bottom.
What's in the bookshelf? A big key! Oh, that could be anything.
Please be GT. Please be GT. Boots required. Please be GT.
There's a very good chance that we could be boot locked now. So when you pick up a small key or a big key in the... Oh, there's the shovel. When you pick up a big key or a small key in the overworld, it will pop up a text box, just like you see on Redditor's menu there, telling you what key that is for, or what dungeon that's for. But until you actually pick it up, you don't know what key is for which dungeon. So that big key on the library could be for literally anything, except for, of course, the Swamp Palace big key, which we've already picked up.
That is absolutely correct. So, and on top of that, also need to mention, when you pick up a key, map, compass, anything inside of a dungeon and there is no text box, it's for that dungeon. It's not going to tell you it's for that dungeon if you pick it up in that dungeon.
It just kind of assumes that you know that it belongs there.
So far, the only official item we found is the shovel, which is...
That's the only thing.
That's crazy. Maps, bombs...
Bombs, rupees, and shovel. That's it.
This is a wild scene. The mirror. There we go. So we have the mirror and the shovel. That's it. Where would you go after this?
Oh, we got a big key to Misery Mire. There's a cape out of the... Oh, early cape. Ooh. Well, early cape is not as big a deal in Keysanity mode because you actually require small keys to climb Aghanim's tower as well.
Yes, you do. So you're going to need 2 castle tower keys. That's the word you're looking for in order to get all the way to Aga. But I see a cape. If I see a lantern early, I'm thinking Aga. I have a feeling there's going to be 2 castle tower keys right back to back.
Or there could just be an item required inside Aghanim's tower itself, because the chests that normally hold Aghanim Tower small keys have been randomized now. So where was that mirror? I haven't seen it yet.
The mirror was actually in the well. It was that first chest in the well on the left-hand side of the top of those top 3.
Oh.
Yeah. So Killer App is going to be doing his purchase of some bombs. That's a very good idea with getting some early rupees like this. If you don't have any, it's a good spot to get them. A lot of times you can pick them up from certain areas, but really, he could have saved himself some money though. He could have actually gone to the very far left and bombed that little area over there and taken care of that.
That takes a long time to farm those bombs, though. If you've already got the money, you may as well buy them.
Yeah, that is also true. Sometimes I think about Zora a little too early. I'd like to keep Zora money in my mind.
As nice as it is to have that Zora money as soon as possible, there's so many rupees in the game, and it's so unlikely to get rupee locked waiting for Zora. And if such a situation arises, there are a couple of places in the game where you can just enter a cave, grab all the rupees, exit the cave, enter again, and all of the rupees have come back.
And there is always doing good old what's his name, that contest winners area. I keep forgetting his name.
Houlihan's room.
Houlihan, that's right. Good old Houlihan.
Silver arrows in the grove.
Got some dirty arrows, man.
So immediate shovel to immediate silver arrows. Everyone is going to be very pleased to find those. And flippers in the dam.
How oddly appropriate. That's very appropriate. I like that they were there.
I think the only place better is if they'd been outside in the swamp, out in the pond. Oh, there's the mittens out in the swamp.
Wow, and really, we have only bombs for weapons right now. We're getting all the utility items, nothing to actually do damage with anything. That is something else. That is something else. This seed is starting off very interesting, and we're not even seeing very many small keys either.
There have been quite a few upgrades, but nothing that says deliberately, you're ready to go to X.
Is this going to be the key cave? I've seen this cave end up being... That was lucky.
That was real nice, and almost the last frame of that bomb explosion caught both of those troll arms. Half magic. Small key to Thieves Town.
That is pseudo important. But
$5. $20.
Unfortunately, without
and the green pendant is Turtle Rock.
Turtle Rock green pendant. I love it. Desert Palace map. That's good. Small key to Turtle Rock. Oh, give them all Turtle Rock keys, please, and give them the medallion for it. Send them there early. That would be mean. But I will say this: he's about to go into Eastern Palace without a weapon.
And without the key. So he's not going to get as much as he wants out of this.
You know, going into the Eastern Palace without a big key, you still have access to 4 chests. And that's still quite a bit. We're going to get our first Ice Rod Cave check as well, which is, I always love seeing this early because it always worries me. It's such an out-of-the-way place. It's more out of the way than Agados.
And both the nice thing and the terrible thing... Oh, small key to Ganon's Tower. Both the nice thing and the terrible thing about Keysanity is every single one of the locations that you would normally ignore because it might have just a heart piece now could potentially have that one key that you require to make progress.
Yeah, because everything is randomized. Literally everything. There is no item count in dungeons right now. You're not going to see, 2 or 3 items inside of Eastern Palace or the 4 typical items in Thieves Town. Every chest is a possibility of something.
sab0tender and KillerApp both heading to the bum under the bridge. Just a heart piece, unfortunately. Recitador picking up his flippers.
I think that was Blue Cane on Asazas' side, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know.
It was indeed. I just checked his restream.
Yeah, so the Blue Cane over there, that is technically a weapon. It doesn't hurt everything, but that is something that they can use to take out blind if they get the big key to Thieves Town, because there's a lot of things that we're looking for.
Unfortunately, Azaz is the only one of our runners who hasn't gotten half magic to make full use of that yet.
Very true, but it's going to be easy for him to be able to go over to...
Dipping back to grab that bomb drop.
I don't blame him at all.
Blue mail.
Not bad, not bad. We got sab0tender heading towards... Interesting.
And the other mail upgrade.
We know where all the mails are.
So everyone's going to get red mail because those are both very easily accessible locations. Recitador is actually doing the rupee farming that I was talking about earlier, using the cave outside of the desert. There's 50 rupees in here every time that you enter this room. He's going to grab all those rupees before he heads up to Zor's domain.
Not a bad play at all. I can't see what was on that.
I don't think he saw either. He wasn't close enough.
As a matter, you know, it's possibly because of the restream. It's a little bit kind of cut off. Not a
potentially.
Big deal. Not a big deal. We'll find out what that is sooner or later. But obviously, it wasn't something too important because.
And there's the Houlihan room. KillerApp deciding to cash out on that. Almost.
And sab0tender literally just went to Sanctuary. So yeah, he has not been to Sank yet. But he's going to go get his basically mail upgrade. There was nothing really else inside the back of Escape.
And I don't know if you caught it or not, but Azaz found the hook shot in Eastern Palace as well.
Early Eastern Palace was a good play.
Indeed.
And he's probably going to be heading towards... Yep, he's going to be doing his South of Hyrule right now. Going to get his glove. Going to get... going to be getting his half magic as well. So he's going to be getting all that. Where do you go after this, though? Because really, you could sequence break Death Mountain with a hook shot for Azaz, but where do you go from here?
That's a good question.
Because there's not too many places that we have... That Zora's going to have something.
Nobody's been to Zora yet. That's very true.
So we're going to see either KillerApp or Recitador very soon going to Zora.
It'll probably be Killer first. It looks like he's trying to get a couple of rupees off the crabs.
Oh, man. Just dig. Dig, bro. Dig.
Dig. Dig. Dig to the center of the earth.
Find your rupees in the middle of the earth. Let's see if we can get a peek at what that is, because he only has 483. A heart piece. Oh, man. And we have...
He's going to have to make a second trip up there, too.
We have the knowledge, and pretty much it's going to be Recitador going that route with most likely the best option of getting Zora, so...
Ironically, well, not ironically, but coincidentally, Azaz is actually having the easiest time in the mini Molorm cave with the hook shot, being able to one-shot every single one of them, not having to worry about bomb shots.
Yeah, we're missing Dark World access at this point, too, because we can't really get to... By logic, can't get to Aga because of Dark Rooms.
Hammer or Titansmith would be required, and we haven't even found a sword yet, so even if they did have those keys to Tower, they can't fight Aghanim yet.
I have a strong feeling we're about to find a sword. KillerApp is headed towards the front of Escape, where nobody has been yet.
Oh, that's a good point. No one wants to do it. All they've got is bombs.
Yeah, that's rough. But with that being said, Asazas is going to have the easiest time of it once he goes there. He's got the hook shot.
That's true. He'll be able to just stun lock the guards and plant bombs at their feet and be on his way.
Or he can use the cane. Because now he has half magic and cane, so he has a weapon of sorts now to be able to kill off these guards.
Kind of.
Again, it's a very weak weapon. I'm not exactly saying that, hey, go fight Ganon with the cane, but...
I'd love to see that.
Better you than me.
KillerApp actually making pretty good use of his bombs, but he's only got 2 left to kill this last blue guard. He's probably just going to have to kamikaze with him.
I can't
There we go.
Very well done. Very well done. But so far, all he's finding is rupees. And Asazas is going to be the first one to get his red mail all the way through.
sab0tender beat him to it.
Oh, did he? Okay.
He got the other mail in Eastern Palace just moments before Azaz did.
Right as he was going for it. So, I'm banking. What if this is Lantern? Down here in the in Zelda's chest.
That would be incredibly ironic. Setting up the Death Warp. It's gonna take a while with that blue male, unfortunately.
He can't.
Oh,
kill
but he
himself.
has no bombs. He can't kill himself.
He can't kill himself. Oh man, that's rough. Save and quit time.
Another small key to Ganon's tower. Nothing
Zora.
out of absolutely nothing down there.
Zora. It's all Zora now.
Oh, now this is clever. I've never seen this before. I don't know if Recitador did, but sab0tender is actually using the blue cane to track his location in the dark room.
That is what asazas did, actually.
Did asazas do that as well? I missed that.
I've seen a couple of very clever ways to track yourself in dark rooms when you don't have particular items. One of the most clever ones that I ever saw was in Pod on one of the races. They used a bee to do it. They released the bee inside the darkroom in Pod, and they found
because the bee's gonna follow him around. Yeah,
that was super clever. I was like, okay then, I might use that sometime. KillerApp getting his silver arrows, fantastic on that. I'm telling you, Zora's the play, man.
Zora's gotta
have
something. Zora has to have something.
There's no other way. Recitador getting a nice 8 bomb drop there. Taking the easy way out. I don't blame him. He's got 3 hearts. It's
not anymore. Not anymore.
Please be careful. You need this hook shot, and we know it, and you don't.
There you go.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about that. So I saw a map of Skull Woods inside the fairy fountain. I didn't see exactly what else was there in the waterfall fountain. What was that second item?
It wasn't anything useful. I think it was just a couple of rupees.
It was a castle tower key, actually.
Oh, that's even... Well, they might need that castle tower key.
More interestingly enough, so hear me out. Castle tower key, they have. They go to Zora. Zora has the lantern. They go in to the castle tower. They get a second castle tower key. And then the bug net. They have to do Aghanim with the bug net.
Swaganim required.
Because they have no other item to be able to deflect his balls. Oh man, this is so rude. So far, this seed has been mean, man.
I've noticed with the Keysanity runs, it's always about that first thread of logic. Once you find the first thread of logic, everything starts falling into place. But it takes forever to figure out what does the game want you to do first.
You know, that's a good piece of knowledge right there. sab0tender, I think, just gave us our first crab knowledge, bombs. So he's gonna okay. He's gonna dark
He's gonna
room.
use that cane and go through the dark room. He's gonna go up to Death Mountain.
I don't blame him. I don't.
Oh, he's
blame
gonna
him.
use the hook shot.
Not a bad idea, and I think we're gonna get our Zora check. If Recitador can find
He
5
needs
rupees.
a blue rupee.
He needs 5 rupees. How frustrating is that to not find rupees inside of the waterfall?
And he's got no way to kill things.
Except for the hook shot, and that doesn't kill that. Oh man. Rupees? No!
Nope.
Oh no! He's like, what do I do? Dig!
There were so many rupees right off the bat, but not enough.
Dig, man! Dig! Don't save and quit.
Don't
do it.
Don't do it. He's bombing Zoras. He's gonna try and bomb Zoras for cash.
Here's the problem. Zoras have a higher ability to drop arrows.
Oh, arrows!
They have a higher possibility of dropping arrows. They are more farming for arrows and bombs. They do not actually drop very many hearts or rupees. Digging is always your best option.
I think everyone has had to bail on being up at Zora's River, and we're almost certain that Zora's River has something they need.
I can't think of another spot they can go. I can't think of anything. Because we've done back, we've done front of escape, we've done... The only thing is, they can check Aga's Tower. They can check one item in Aga's Tower that may have something, which, as a matter of fact...
They have the cape. They can enter the area.
Guess who's going there?
Az is going to have a look.
And he has to kill those front 2 guards with either the
bombs.
cane or bombs.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Cyclone View, they can in fact sequence break Death Mountain if they know the route through the dark cave. I had thought that sab0tender was going to try that, but he seems to have changed his mind on that.
I don't blame him. That's not an easy. It's easy, but without a sword, it's kind of hard to find your way through. It's really hard to get past those walls. The easiest thing to do is always, mark the walls and things like that. Oh, he just got that kill. He just got those.
Lamp!
The lamp! Come on, Bugnet! Come on, Bugnet! Allow me to call a Bugnet. I would love it. Swaggin' strats, man. Give me swaggin'. But they have to find another castle tower key. I do have to.
It's right here. It's right here. Cross your fingers.
Nope,
$5.
$5.
And Azaz is out.
So that actually is leading them up. So he has the lamp to go up to Death Mountain, which is straight in logic.
And almost all of the Death Mountain is available to them. They have the mirror. They have the Moon Pearl. They have the hook shot. Almost all of Light World Death Mountain is available to them, and a fair chunk of Dark World Death Mountain as well.
Now, let me point this out. The logic was wanting them to go to Aghanim first. They got the hook shot out of sequence. So it ended up working out, but the logic actually wanted them to go straight to Aghanim after that cape to go get the lamp to come back to Eastern Palace to get the hook shot.
Right, because that hook shot was behind the Dark Rooms.
Yes, it was. It was in the Vanilla Big Key spot in Eastern Palace. What is it? What is it? Castle Tower! Castle Tower! We might have a Keysanity Aga seed, folks!
Oh dear.
Bugnet on! Give me Bugnet on Spectacle Rock! Come on!
That's the, oh man. We're looking for a hammer, we're looking for another glove upgrade, or we're looking for a sword. Or the Bugnet.
2 swords. I want 2 swords. 2 swords would be absolutely fantastic. Bugnet.
Sword upgrade!
1 sword. If we get a second one... Actually, no. They've
got the cape. They only need 1 sword upgrade if they have the cape.
It is Aga. Aga has to be the play.
You know that these runners are going to dodge that as long as they possibly can, though.
Did he just skip over the sword?
I don't know. Oh, man. Where is he going?
Over the sword. What did he do?
KillerApp, where are you going?
Huh? K.A., my man, why are you skipping over that sword?
Azaz is going to grab his.
As you should. But I will say this. Keep in mind, Zora still needs to be checked. There could still be a key item on Zora.
We have a sword.
Our first sword of the game. Big key to Ice Palace.
Ice Palace big key. Not terribly useful.
It really is.
More useful than Swamp Palace big key.
Way more useful. Yeah, the big key to Ice Palace is usually skippable because of he's going to go back and get it.
Okay, there he goes. Now he's getting it. He just wanted to see what was in Tower of Hera, those first couple of spots.
That was weird routing, because if you'd have gotten something that sent you up to Tower of Hera, and let's say you got the big key of Tower of Hera in Tower of Hera, you would have go get the sword to go be able to kill anything. Like, why? That was an odd routing choice, but where is he going to go next? Is he going to make the dive to Aga, or is he going to go... He's going to go back to the mountain cave.
I guarantee you that both Azaz and KillerApp are going to sweep Death Mountain before they even consider doing Aghanim.
Yeah, I was wondering why he did the save and quit, because you could have just jumped down from where you were at. I don't know if that was faster.
He was probably considering Aghanim and decided against it.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, who really wants to do Aghanim? And by the way, we missed a Moon Pearl pickup. Asazas found the Moon Pearl in those first 2 chests in Paradox Cave.
Oh, excellent.
So that's fantastic. 20, heart piece. 300. They've got Zora money.
He's got Zora money now.
Moon Pearl was a great find. Fantastic. But still, it's pointing towards Aga. Zora is becoming more and more the play. Not Zora, excuse me.
If they find a lift or if they find the hammer, they can skip Aghanim, and that's 3 minutes just dead from their run.
I want a bug net on Zora. I want Bugnet on Zora. So where are our runners heading next? So we got Recitador doing some things that we've already checked out before. sab0tender has just done his dig spot and got his silver arrows. KillerApp's going to be doing a bomb buy. That's not a bad idea. A lot of people forget that these bombs are here and still go all the way to...
all the way to Kakariko Village.
Yeah, they go all the way back to Kakariko. Now, one thing I'm noticing that KillerApp didn't do that asazas is doing, Spiral Cave.
He was out of bombs. He wanted bombs to restock, and since he had to save and quit out of where he currently was, he just decided, I'm just going to go restock bombs while I'm at it.
Not a bad play. Yeah, oh yeah, because he couldn't do the bomb door in Map of Dark Palace. Not a big thing to use. Okay.
So Azazaz is just about out of options.
It's Zora or it's Zora. That's the only spot that they can check before they have to do Aga.
He went to Link's house. I think he's going to go Aga. sab0tender is heading into Aghanim, so he'll be getting his lamp and then have to bail out.
Yes, Azazaz is doing Aga. Yes! This is my first Aga Keysanity. I have not seen Aga and Keysanity.
It is incredibly unlikely to get Aghanim and Keysanity. There's just so many small pieces that have to lock into place.
And I think we might get our first Zora check. Yes, actually.
He's got the money and he's heading back there.
And sab0tender is going to find his trusty lamp. I bet you he's going to be happy about that.
Azazaz has the lamp. He's going to check the sewer room.
Okay.
Anything but Aghanim.
Okay, sewer room is not a bad play, but you're gonna be happy when you see that bug net, asazas. Why am I just begging for bug net?
Because we're evil and we want to see our runners hurt.
Oh, a little bit of love from Zora. I like it. Oh. What's in the chest?
And the chest has a key to Turtle Rock, which is not going to be useful.
Which is going to send him to Aga. It's Aga. Aga's the Dark World access, folks. They can't get there without Aga.
The thing is, Azazaz has such a lead on this because he already has gone in once. He has the lamp. He has that knowledge. Everyone else still has to go through it once.
He doesn't. He says, "I'm here. I'm going for it." He says, "Screw it. I got to do it." You got to have.
Oh, he has no magic. He can't get in.
Oh no. I'm sorry.
So everyone
but he
else
remembers.
Everyone but sab0tender is looking for that required piece of logic to get them through things. He's got the lamp from the first trip in. He has to get the second small key from, I think it was Old Man that gave you that?
For Castle Tower?
Yeah, the second Castle Tower key. I think Old Man had that, didn't he?
No, Old Man had a heart. Castle Tower small key was throughout. I think it was in Kakariko. I think it was just throughout Kakariko. Because they were
because they had to go back out to get it. I remember that much.
They've had
the first one. They've had the first one for a while.
No, they've had the first one for a little while. I think it was actually. I actually think it was in Blind's Thieves' Hut.
We're about to find out. Nope, that's a key. That's Castle Tower. Old Man had the Castle Tower key.
That old man, excuse me. I was thinking uncle. That's what I get for thinking. God.
So the logic required you to go into Aga Tower once to get the lamp, then go up Death Mountain to rescue the old man and get the second Aga Tower key to even go up Death Mountain or up the tower.
Yes. Wow. And it would have required you to go all the way around to get all the way to Eastern Palace if you wanted to do. Oh wow, this seed is.
Because you needed the cape out of Eastern Palace. Wait, no, the cape wasn't in Eastern Palace. Where was the cape?
The cape was in the bar. No, excuse me. The cape was actually in whatchamacallit's hut.
Sastrola's. Chicken Hut? Oh yeah, Chicken Hut. That's where it was.
Chicken
Hut.
So
cape was a free pickup, but it required. What was required? I've completely lost track of this. This seed is evil.
This seed has gone absolutely nuts. I love it though. I love it. So far, keep in mind too, we are very low on keys. We do not have very many keys. So they're going to be finding all these keys in the Dark World.
Right. This seed has railroaded them towards Aghanim 1, which is very unusual.
With a fighter's sword. Which, keep in mind, in the vanilla game, you would have had the Master Sword here. So you're having to kill red enemies with the fighter's sword.
They do have the red mail, though, which helps considerably.
So the seed is being somewhat forgiving. But I wouldn't say, hey, thank you, Seed, for giving me red mail instead of Master Sword.
No, the red mail is a consolation prize at this point.
Now, have you caught what the stun prize was? I don't remember.
Stun prize.
Whenever they stun something with a hook shot and then kill it, you get a stun prize. It's a randomized object. A lot of times, it's a higher chance of being something like a 1 rupee or like a 1 heart. But it's something common. I wonder if he's going to... Nope, I wouldn't kill him either. I don't think the stun prize is anything important.
He'd probably just fall off the ledge there. I'm seeing a lot of people asking about Agina's Cave. Agina's Cave was checked. It was just cash.
Who was it that checked that?
I believe it was actually sab0tender who went out of his way for that.
Okay. I remember somebody did. I didn't remember what was there, but I knew it was one of the locations that was out of play. Which, keep in mind, asazas did not go check Zora, so he's taking the play that Ag is it. He's just accepting the fact that Zora is probably nothing, which he would be right. And 1 blue ball. How nice is Aga gonna be?
2 blue ball.
Oh, man.
3 blue ball.
Oh, Lord, Aga. Not only was it an Aga
This is going to be a good one.
Okay, there we go. He's got 1 more hit, I believe.
KillerApp's just found his lamp. He's probably not happy about that either.
But he has both keys, too, so is he going to take the full-on drop?
Oh, did he sneak his way up Death Mountain without the lamp?
He sure did.
Oh.
But he also had the sword. So he, well, no, he would have, actually, yeah, he went and grabbed the sword because the sword was on Death Mountain. He is. He's going for Aga.
Yeah, he's ready to go. I don't blame him. So we've got a 5/6 crystal in Ice Palace and Palace of Darkness.
And 1 and 2 on Skullwoods and Swamp Palace. So 4 crystals all at once right there. Is this Titan's Mitts? A key.
Small key.
Swamp?
Don't be swamp. Don't be swamp. It's Turtle Rock.
If they find Kane and a medallion, they're getting pointed to Turtle Rock first.
They've found a lot of Turtle Rock keys so far. Oh, goodness. So they have hookshot and flippers. So even though they don't have the hammer, which would usually give them their southern Dark World access, they can actually go all the way around using the hookshot to get on the left side of the Dark World.
Yes, they can. Yes, they can. You know, that I like this. I like this. Going to the back and checking out the graveyard cave, I like this.
Normally, this is a really out-of-the-way position because there's no good time that you end up in the Dark World graveyard under normal circumstances.
But knowing this seed and the way it's been acting lately, I would just be like, yeah, you know what? We're going straight there.
Check everything.
There's a heart. Now, keep in mind, we're still looking for boots, too, because remember what was in the library?
There is a big key on library.
So we are also looking for boots.
We don't know that it's required, but that's a pretty good chance that they're going to need that at some point.
You know, considering the fact that we have Pod, Swamp Palace isn't going to need one. Ice Palace, we already have the big key. Yeah, right now we know Pod is a required dungeon that's going to need a big key.
Sarah Zelda 1, Recitador is actually playing a Samus Aran.
Yeah, that's the Samus sprite. I think that one's been around for quite some time. We don't have any of the newest ones.
I think it's actually the Samus Aran from Metroid Prime 2, because that's the dark suit.
I have not played. It's been so long since I played the Prime series.
Got a new one coming out.
It was a piece of heart up on Bumper Cage Ledge, so Bumper Cave not going to be required.
That's really unfortunate because I've got the cape for it.
Yeah, they've got the ability to go into that right now.
I guarantee you they were hoping that would have been something useful.
Yeah, Asazas going into Skull Woods, which is it's a good play, especially in Keysanity. There's a lot of chests in the front of Skull Woods that you can check. That's probably going to have something.
There's a reason they call it Value Woods.
They called it Value Woods in just a normal open sea, let alone considering Keysanity, which has a lot of chests anyway.
Yeah, I believe Skull Woods has a grand total of 8 chests in it, and you can access 4 of them without the fire rod. The fifth chest is the big key that they just passed by there. Of course, Mothula has an item as well, and there is that one. There's the Master Sword.
Let me think here, because no, there's only 2 items you cannot get to without fire rod. That's Mothula and the chest underneath the bridge. So So everything else is going to be in the front without the fire rod, which there's going to be 1, 2, plus the big, and then one's going to be without a doubt total. A small. Yeah, one's without a doubt a small key. Then there's this one right here. So there's 5 total chests you can get to without the fire rod, and then there's 2 items you can.
It's weird that one chest is actually still a locked key. It has to be a key, because if you drop in through the entrance that most of these players use, you have to have that key in order to exit the dungeon.
Yeah, that's a logic thing. It will not let you get around otherwise. Like, you'll actually be soft locked. You'll have to save and quit, and the developers like to prevent you from having to save and quit all the time.
Although there are some exceptions to that. If you make it to Dark World without Mirror, you can actually get the Smith and Gary's Lunchbox using the save and quit method.
Exactly. That is in logic. It's the dungeon logic that the developers like to avoid having you save and quit all the time for, because they like you to go into a dungeon and do the dungeon, because the original game assumes you're going to do the dungeon. So
the game logic, on the other hand, does not like to let them do that right now.
Precisely. So he's going to do his Sea House check here and do his pretty much the typical Dark World route.
There's the net.
There's the net I've been looking for.
Too little, too late. On the other hand, KillerApp has actually gone straight into Palace of Darkness. Going to take a quick look in there. I don't think he has a way... actually, how many keys does he have for Palace of Darkness?
That's one. The bow!
I suppose it doesn't matter anymore.
That's the bow! You still need at least 3 keys, though.
You actually require 1 key to finish the dungeon flat out. You require 4 keys to clean the dungeon out if you can do the hammer yump. You require 5 keys if you don't know how to do the hammer yump.
Okay, so it is 4 keys with the hammer yump. I thought it was 3. Okay.
Because there's 6 keys total. You can skip the first key if you have the bow, which is what KillerApp is doing right now. He's going through the backdoor mimic room.
That is such an amazing find, man. Silver arrows right now. Oh, yeah. Easy mode clear of a bunch of these enemies, and that's such a great find.
And the worst part is, too, is it's almost as bad as the Aghanim Lamp, because you don't want to go into Palace of Darkness without already having the bow.
Exactly. And that's a play that a lot of people don't like doing, just going into Palace of Darkness without the ability to clear it. I'd like to mention, too, he can't clear this dungeon right now.
No, he doesn't have enough keys.
Not even that.
He also doesn't have a hammer.
He doesn't have a hammer. So he can't beat this dungeon right now without a hammer.
Or the big key.
Or the big key at that. Which I'm pretty sure they haven't picked up that big key yet.
I actually have all of our streamers on a multi-Twitch on the side, so I'm keeping track of their keys as well.
Aha! Someone is thinking outside the box.
Yeah, so far KillerApp only has the Swamp Palace big key, the Ice Palace big key, and the Misery Mire big key. which I think most of our people have found.
I'm pretty sure everybody's found the same amount of keys because we've got Recitador and sab0tender both doing AGA run right now.
It's been very linear. There's been very little room for wiggle.
And nobody else has found another big key. So I'm pretty sure, really, we have divergence on the two people who are in Dark World right now. Asazas is getting his shovel game out of the way, which we haven't seen yet, and KillerApp went straight to pod. So we're probably going to see
J-Player in chat raises a good question. Is there any chance for these dungeons to soft lock if you use your keys incorrectly? That actually was the case in previous versions. It's in the logic. The randomizer designers are going out of their way, being especially careful to try and prevent that from happening. It can still happen on very rare instances. We haven't found all of the cases that can happen, obviously. But every time that it pops up, the designers go in, they look at the logic, and they say, how did this happen? How do we prevent it? So the version that these runners are running on, version 28, was released very quickly over version 27, because 27 actually did have a Palace of Darkness key lock.
And they fixed it. And there's a couple things that they added in there to help with that. For instance, they added in an extra permutation where certain keys can be locked behind certain areas, i.e. Skullwood's big key can be in the Skullwood's big chest. So you don't need it, but that's the only thing you need the Skullwood's big key for is that chest. Same thing with, for instance, Thieves Town small key. That small key can be in that big chest because you need that small key to get to it. So it's not going to lock anything out. It's allowed inside the logic.
It locks itself and nothing else.
If a soft lock does happen, I'm pretty sure that it's going to be reported, and then you kind of go through and see if anybody else does the same mistake. Honestly, I wasn't around, or say I wasn't around. I actually wasn't a part of that particular race that it happened, but I know it happened to a lot of people, and it was frustrating, but people took it in stride. So we are getting our first hype cave check. That was the mushroom.
Generous guy had a mushroom. Fire rod.
Fire rod.
Titansmith.
Titansmiths.
Map again, Tower, not as important.
Tower
but the
of
small
Hera.
key to Tower of Hera.
That was a hype cave. Hype cave is back alive again. That was a hype cave. Mushroom, the mitts, and the fire rod. Hype cave.
So that's access to Ice Palace to get through all of the frozen enemies. That's access to the back end of Skull Woods to open up the skull. And the Titansmiths give them a few more entrances to the Dark World, so they won't always have to use the Pyramid entrance from now on.
And Eastern Palace is now finishable. Because Pod has the bow, so Eastern Palace is now finishable as well.
Eastern Palace. They said Palace of Darkness. Like, wait, we still need the hammer.
No, Eastern Palace. Which I'm kind of interested to see that KillerApp didn't actually go into Eastern Palace and go ahead and finish that while he was there. He might be able to do both at the same time. Good point. No big key
yet.
Yeah, Eastern Palace big key hasn't been found yet. That is absolutely correct. So I'm glad I'm not running this. Otherwise, I probably would have been the dummy that done that. Just goes to show you, though, it's very easy sometimes to just forget something like that. It's
throwing the keys in the item pool makes this very confusing.
Yeah, I've had plenty of times, but also I'd be sitting there with a tracker in front of me. It would have been a lot easier for me to be like, yeah, why go there? I don't do that. But Asazas giving us our first check of the good old catfish.
Tushinoshu.
He's probably going to do Zora right now too.
He does have the cash for it, and that'd be a pretty good quick check. Just mirror through, walk up, grab it, walk out.
You know what I call him? Sushi. What you got, Cat? What you got, Sushi?
Bomb upgrade.
Bomb upgrade. Yep, that's exactly where he's going. He's going to go check Zora now. Don't blame him at all. So, as far as a pedestal seed goes, let's hype up our chat here. Pedestal seed, we got all 3 medallions that could be needed because we don't know what's needed for Turtle Rock or Misery Mire. Turtle Rock, though, is a pedestal, so we can't lock that out. So Misery Mire right now we don't know what's there. So it could be one of the medallions. Could be boots. It could be Ice Rod. No, it can't be.
It can't be Ice Rod because you require Ice Rod for Krynax.
That is very true. It could be Hammer.
Can't be Hammer. You need the Hammer to get into Turtle Rock.
You do. Could be Flute if Myers not.
Meyer is. Can't be Flute. Actually, we haven't seen Meyer yet, have we?
No, we haven't. Meyer is not known yet. So if Meyer's not a deal, it could be
Flute.
And remember, it could be one of the many keys we may need as well. Like,
it could always be a key.
Could be Ganon's Tower. Ooh.
It could be the Swamp Palace key.
It could be the elusive Swamp Palace key. That would be the second time I've been commentating on a Swamp Palace bed. Oh, I may blow eardrums if that happens a second time.
Azaz has got himself a bottle. He's going to go check the sick kid, see what's available.
We've already seen that. I believe it was just a pod small key.
Yep, Dark Palace small key.
Yeah, we've already seen that. I think that was actually... I think KillerApp actually checked that, because he got the bottle from the top of Spectacle Rock that had the fairy.
Look, there's a lot going on. My eyes can only be in so many places at once.
I'll forgive you this time. Now, we also... I don't think we've... No, we've seen Thieves Town checked. So, Asazas is going to go to the back of Skull Woods. Good play. I like it. That's 2 items. It's a direct spot. He's checked quite a few other places. However, he needs to make that play to pod.
It is also one of the crystals he requires, so going out of his way to kill Mocula is not a bad idea right now.
It's really not. This is a good play. This is actually the play I probably would have made in his position, knowing for a fact that I'm going to get 2 items out of it, and I'm right here. I literally just check bottle. I could go straight up. Why not? Because the only thing that really that he is missing from pod is that bow, and he's not in a rush to get it right now because you only need it for 2 places. So,
well, everyone needs it eventually.
Of course. So I wonder if KillerApp is going to be going... No hammer, so he can't even do that. Yes, he can right now. He can do that. I'm lying. He's going to go check Hype Cave. I was wondering if he was going to go to Swamp Palace and check that front chest. Because remember, there is 1 chest in the front of Swamp Palace.
Oh, that always catches me off every single time.
Yes. So they have every ability to check that, and it's very possible that it could be the vanilla Swamp Palace key. It's not as likely... Which I missed what that chest was, by the way, in the front of... I don't think it was anything big, because chat didn't lose their minds. So... There was a logic bug, so to speak, in version 27 that had a higher percentage of the front chest in Swamp Palace having that key. That's been fixed. It's way lower of a logic now. It's like more like 3%. It's really low.
I actually just confirmed on Azaz's stream. I did a quick clip to have a look at the replay. It's just a 50 rupee pickup.
Not very useful, because all the things that you spend money on, all gone.
Most of them. Still got to pay Kiki the Extortionist.
Oh yeah, the Extortionist. But he's got 400 rupees.
Sagging Rufus, these daily races are hosted every day, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and 11 p.m. Eastern Time.
Good old Lagmarang on Mothula, and nothing much from the back of Skull Woods. So he's going to be having to make that pod play. And KillerApp is going into Swamp to check that front chest.
I don't blame him. This key has been this seat has been incredibly stingy.
What's it going to have?
Boots.
That would be wicked.
Just a map.
Oh.
Of Turtle Rock. Where are the items?
Oh man, where is everything?
Well, they have Titan's Mitt and they have the Fire Rod, so they actually could make some progress into Ice Palace.
Ice Palace is the next play.
Cold Stare is unfortunately hammer locked for the time being, but there are items in Ice Palace that they'll be able to exploit.
As a matter of fact, they can find a few items because there's actually, I think it is 2 items that are actually hammer locked as well. Because you have to have a hammer to get to the.
Oh yes, the H room.
The H room. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what to call the room. It's the one that has the 2 falling guards, the falling Stalfoses that you have to open up to get to that left side to activate one chest and otherwise. So, but we are getting East Side Death Mountain. We're gonna get the Bunny Cave checked, which
And probably Hookshot Cave immediately after that.
Don't blame him at all. Very good checks. There's a lot of items over here, and we're probably gonna get a Turtle Rock check as well, and we'll also get a floating island check. So,
Heart piece.
Heart. And a big heart. Total of Super Bunny love. That's basically what we got going on there. Hookshot Cave is going to be a very big possibility. I definitely agree with Chad on this. Hookshot Cave has got 5 total items with the check of the actual island and the chest on the inside.
And Azaz is going to go check Turtle Rock. It is Quake. Nobody's seen that yet.
Quack.
And then straight into the Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, I don't blame him for not going ahead and mirroring, just going straight in and then going ahead and getting the item. Doing some checks for time's sake, it doesn't really do much because the chances of it being something, especially now, like when we're finding every compass possible.
The flute!
He just said, peace out. We're going to go activate our swag duck. I don't like that idea, though. I don't blame him. I'm sorry.
I would have checked the island before I left.
Get that last item. And that's what KillerApp is going to do. Let's see if Asazas is going to dodge a bullet here, or if KillerApp is going to actually get... Oh, he's not.
Where is he going? KillerApp, what are you doing?
Is he going to Hookshot Cave? Or not Hookshot Cave, excuse me, but Spike Cave? He can't do Spike Cave.
He's got Cannaberna.
Oh, no, you know what? No, you have to have a hammer to get in there. He's going to go to the Tower of Hera basement. He has the small key.
Oh, right, that one small key.
That's weird. Why would you check the Tower of Hera small basement without going to the island?
Eh.
That's all you. Well, while we are going to probably get a coffee break out of this, and we got a few areas being checked that we've already seen, let me point out to you folks that Recitador, Asazas, KillerApp, and sab0tender are providing your entertainment today. Please give them a follow. They are all doing this. They are all streamers. They have to do this in order to be able to be a part of this. It's a great community. Please give them a follow, as well as our 2 support folks, Math Girl 718 and Call Me Hefe. They are also fantastic folks doing your tracking today, doing a fantastic job, as well as my co-commentator, Dawning Arc. Follow him too. He needs your love as well.
No. He's doing fine. So as with that flute all set up, he's gonna go check out what is in the swamp drop.
A pod small key in the basement of Hera.
That's not useful. 50 rupees and a small key to Ganon's Tower.
Not useful. Because Ganon's Tower, you literally don't need any small keys. There's a safety key on the left-hand side you can use and go straight up.
I didn't see what Meyer's medallion was on the way by, though, unfortunately.
Sorry, KillerApp. You can't do that without the hammer. I'd be used to having a hammer by now, too. I'm sure these racers are like, where is this? It is, according to the trackers, it looks like it was actually Ether. And chat does point out that is vanilla medallions. Is this even randomized?
Totally is. Ether on Meyer, Quake on Turtle Rock.
And right now, that pod key wasn't a bad find because that's going to give him the last few keys to be able to go through once he finds a hammer. Also keeping in mind, the hammer could be in pod. There are still chests that have not been checked.
Oh, there are lots of chests back there.
Yes.
The problem is without the hammer, you have to spend the additional either 5th key or 6th key to open up that first locked door.
Which this seed might require it.
It very well might.
This seed has been already pretty stinking trolly. I will like to point out, I'm not going to say names, but we've already had a few forfeits. And they are...
I don't blame them.
They are commenting, what a hard seed, what a hard start, hard seed. So this is definitely throwing people for a loop. And I don't blame them at all. This is not an easy seed.
It forced bombs on them to begin with to do all of their initial item hunt. It forced them to go through Aghanim. And it still really hasn't given them anything to bite on yet.
And Asazas is going to be doing a desert check, which I can't blame him. He's already over here.
Won't need the boots. It looks like chat caught that the last pod key was on the desert ledge. Or maybe not the last one, but reasonably close.
Turtle Rock Big Key. And desert.
We have found a fair number of the Palace of Darkness keys already.
I have a strong feeling boots. That big key has got to be something important. It's got to. It's getting more and more likely to be the Ganon's Tower big key. What if the boots are in Ganon's Tower?
They could be.
Yes, they could. Because we just found out that nothing is locked inside of Desert Palace. So the boots could have. You could have to double dip Ganon's Tower in the seed. Oh my god. What? Who generated this?
So KillerApp is making use of his fire rod he pulled out to go take care of Montula. Azaz is making use of his fire rod to go start off Ice Palace, figure out what's in there. He won't be able to finish it without the hammer, but he will be able to get a fair number of the chests.
Big key
to Tower of Hera.
Tower of Hera. Okay. We don't know what we still have no idea where the red and the blue pendants are. So keep in mind there are 5 places so that we don't know yet. So Tower of Hera could very well just be a pendant. Which is still possibly leaning towards a Ped seed. We still don't know what's on Ped.
Trolldorm is still an item drop, though, and he's a fairly easy one.
There are 3 items in the top, so 3 items.
Uh-huh.
Yes, Asazas can finish Hera right now. Hera would be a very good play after he is done getting the few items he can get here.
And we're actually coming up on the 1 hour mark. People have only just started getting their first crystals. We're probably looking at a 3-hour seed for this.
Depending on what happens in these last few chests when the floodgates open, we're gonna see either a super fast ending or it's gonna do exactly what you said. It's gonna be just dramatically long.
This could be a long one, folks. Get your popcorn.
But I'm okay with that because this is enough just perfect
I'm having
deviation.
fun.
I'm having a blast. I'm okay with that.
Oh, recitador has actually decided to dive pod. He's going to get his bow here in short order.
And I'd like to also say he's only got the 1 key. So he has only collected 1 key as well.
With the bow, he'll be able to go through the back entrance and not spend that key on the first door, though.
That is very true. But KillerApp did make the mistake of spending that first key. So I'm just more or less thinking along the lines of when Asazas finally decides to go pod and get his bow, he's going to be able to do most of pod. Especially depending on what he finds in these rooms. He could very well find the hammer. He could very well find some other progression that keeps him further from pod.
Well, according to Asazas' personal tracker, he only has 2 small keys for Palace of Darkness. And there was 1 in the back entrance, so that's 3 small keys. So he'll be able to clear out you're right, he'll be able to clear out a fair bit of Palace of Darkness without too much trouble once he has that bow.
Yeah, it's just a matter of actually making the decision to go in there. But I doubt he's really banking on finding the bow.
It's a question of not wanting to go into Palace of Darkness without the bow, because it costs you an extra key to do it that way.
Now, have we seen a chest check yet? I know we just saw the Jeremiah be turned in, and he has
nobody has done either the blacksmith or Gary's lunchbox. sab0tender is the first one to do the smith in general.
Okay, so Smith had a just. Oh, what are you doing, SSS? You can't go that way.
Oh, right. Hammer.
I forgot. We have to have a smashy item. Powder in
the box.
Somebody might need to get an intervention for him. Bad pun.
Either that or that lunchbox has been locked a little too long.
Oh no. I wonder what that's going to lead to. See, there's so many fetch quests. What is this seed doing? So, things that the powder could lead to.
There are a number of things that the powder could lead to. I've actually seen in chat people are wondering why Ice Palace chests are being skipped. Azaz doesn't have any Ice Palace small keys to get to most of those chests.
Yeah, there's 2 chests that are locked by Hammer. In particular, there's so much Ice Palace that you really just have to have Hammer for. So it's kind of rough to go through. But he is going to go to Tower of Hera, which so far as logic routing goes, and actually keeping to a particular set that you're getting and that the seed's telling you to go, I think SSS has a little bit of an edge on the others, even though the others have found things like bow and have gone to pod before him. I feel like he is going to have a more quick and decisive pod than they are.
Everyone's been finding a fair number of items, but I think Azaz is the only player on our featured list who's actually been following the logic correctly. Which is, it's impossible to tell that you are following the logic correctly until all of the dominoes start falling.
Exactly. I mean, for all we know, everybody's pretty much checking the same things that other people have checked. But for all we know, it could just be that one spot, that one place, because let's face it, only one person has powder right now. Powder could be the item, which I think that was KillerApp. I'm not sure if our because KillerApp did just get the powder that was on the.
That was in the lunchbox.
That was sab0tender. Excuse me. sab0tender has the powder because he went and got the check at lunchbox and also good old Jebediah or whatever you want to call him, Jeremiah. Good lord, I even know that song, and I'm messing it up. Oh, we're gonna get our check over here on the heart
just
piece.
A heart container on the island.
Okay, so island's not much.
Also, Azaz has just found himself another pod small key. He's up to 3 now. So yeah, like you were saying, once he does finally decide to make that dive into pod, bow or no bow, he's going to be in really good shape for it.
Exactly, and he's going to be able to do. I've got full faith that he knows how to do the bomb jump, so I'm not.
If he can do the bomb jump, he's good to go because he'll get the bow, and that will immediately tell him I can do the backdoor instead, and the backdoor is going to give him that bonus Palace of Darkness key that is actually in Palace of Darkness.
And as it stands right now, there's a strong chance that the hammer could be there unless he finds it here.
Palace of Darkness has a lot of loot in it.
It really does. Palace of Darkness might just be the Palace of Ooh, that's a good find.
Small key to Desert Palace that's worth 2 chests.
Now, I do want to point out that there is a big key.
Big key to Thieves Town.
That's a big open. That's a big open.
That opens the back half of Thieves Town. All of our runners have only been able to do the first 4 rooms of Thieves Town so far.
Yeah, those first 4 chests are usually pretty hype when it comes to items, but as far as being able to clear the dungeon, you need that big key. So now at the moment he can't get the big chest, but 1 item compared to 3. The hammer was in the big chest in Ice Palace.
Oh boy.
How did SSS miss that? He went the same direction KillerApp did.
I honestly, he went through the dungeon, but I think he hit he hit the boss room without going that way first, and the boss room actually locks you in. I think you can still exit the boss room through a switch, but he may have just gotten locked in and just thought, I'm stuck.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt. That's major progression right there. Oh, don't fall. And for all we know, Trolldorm could have another piece of progression somewhere. Oh!
Nope.
Oh, man. I missed what was in the iced tea room from that fall.
I honestly have no
piece.
idea, but it looks like chat actually has a bit of a correction for us. Asazas couldn't have done Ice Palace because the Ice Palace big key is in Hera. And this is his first trip to Hera.
Oh. Well, you don't, I mean, he could do the bomb jump. You don't need the, well, you're right, he couldn't have gotten the actual, oh, ouch.
He couldn't have finished Ice Palace because Hera had the big key.
Yes. Okay. Oh, no, he got that middle hole.
Trolldorm living up to his nickname today.
Yeah, so his Ice Palace play was a little bit early.
So yeah, Tease Day actually brings up a good point. The dungeons had each other's big keys.
They did, didn't they? Because he came in and got, wow. So it would have had you go do, what?
You had to double dip one or the other. You had to. It was required.
Okay, so maybe it wasn't a bad play. Maybe it actually helped. But as it stands, poor Asazas is having the hardest time with Trolldorm, but it happens. It happens.
Doing his best.
We got Recitador activating his swag duck. The goose is loose on that side.
So
Come on.
This is 2 dungeons now that the item to complete the dungeon was in the dungeon. Bow was in Eastern Palace, and Hammer was in Ice Palace. Or not Eastern Palace, Palace of Darkness. They needed the bow to complete Palace of Darkness. They still needed the hammer there, too. But the bow was in Eastern Palace, and the hammer was in Ice Palace. Both of those items were required to finish the dungeon that they were in.
And Trolldorm living up to his name again after SSS gets his revenge on him. Red pendant and a compass.
Ooh.
Trolldorm lives again. But KillerApp is going to be going in and attempting Cold Stare here shortly. Yep, looking to see what he's got.
He's very confused.
But that's the last item he's got to get. And that's the thing. Other than the bit, well, I say other than, pretty big finds. The big key to Hera and the hammer. So those are big finds. Not much else.
So what are we looking at for go mode at this point? We know that we're going to require the Ether Medallion to get into Misery Mire, but we don't actually know what Misery Mire is yet. So that might still be required.
Very true. Right now, item go mode, we're looking at Kane.
We don't need Kane.
Possibly, if Misery Mire is a...
Possibly. So we're in a lot of Schrodinger's go mode position items because we might possibly need Kane, we might possibly need Ether, and we might possibly need Boots.
So much. I can almost guarantee we're going to need Boots, but it's just a matter of what that key is, because literally with the amount of keys that we got right now, looking at it, it's like, you know, it could be the big key to Eastern Palace. You might need it, because there's only one spot that we know. We only have one pendant that we're missing. So, oh man, this seed is so rough. But Asazas is going to the back of Thieves Town. Again, he's really following logic pretty well. He's going to have to go back into Ice Palace here shortly. Because he's going to need to find that hammer. But that's kind of unfortunate because he's going to be missing out on the big chest over here.
Yeah.
And that could have a big item.
Outside of that big chest, though, I think he's got everything he needs to finish the dungeon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Once you get the big key, you can literally go minimal items to finish this dungeon.
And yeah, Cooper Fox is right. We are only an hour and 9 minutes into the seed. It feels like it's been forever.
Yes.
This seed is just crawling.
Yeah, and as it stands, we definitely, I mean, I'm calling it. We're going to have to go into Turtle Rock at some point.
Oh, I guarantee it.
And
This
there's a
seed
possibility.
it's just being that way.
There's a possibility that Sasha could have something. There is so much trolling possibility inside of the fact that the green pendant's on Turtle Rock. I get a little bit clinched when I see that. And so far, Thieves Town's coming up empty. He's got one last spot he can check, and that's the boss. And we'll see what the drop is for that.
Recitador getting his Skull Woods kill. Again, we're over an hour in, and only the first couple of crystals have been acquired so far.
Usually by this time, for Keysanity, you usually know by this time what every dungeon is. We don't know what every dungeon is right now. We're still figuring it out.
We're still missing a whole bunch of maps too, yeah.
Usually by commentators' standards, we know what everything is right now. But once this kill happens, if it's a crystal, we still don't know where the third pendant's at.
I'd love for this to be a pendant. Just be a complete waste of time to have done this.
Boots! What are those?
I believe that those are shoes with an incredibly high cuff that goes over the ankle, and they make you run really fast.
So it turns you into Sonic?
Yes.
Sweet! Cool!
And of course, he's got those boots. The very first thing he's going to do is he's going to run down and check that library key.
So we know it was a crystal, but we don't know if it was 5 or 6. So,
well, we knew what 5 or 6 were. We had that confirmed.
Yeah, okay,
5 and
right.
6 were each
Pod,
confirmed. Yeah, Pod and Ice Palace. We knew that those were 5 and 6. And it is Dark Palace Big Key.
Pod.
So Azazaz is set to do Dark Palace. He's got the big key, he has 3 small keys, and there is a small key in Dark Palace itself. I'm almost 100% certain of that.
Yeah, without a doubt. So we're going to be getting our Spike Cave check. Just bombs. Now, Azazaz is not going to be able to check the Peg Cave. So that's crazy. Oh, man. So much going on.
Right, the only runner who has the hammer so far is KillerApp, because Hammer was in Ice Palace. So even though Azazaz is completely set up to do Dark Palace of Darkness, he's got to go to Ice Palace first to get the hammer to finish that off. Speaking of Palace of Darkness, sab0tender is actually heading into the back end of it to take a look at what's in there. He's got a couple of keys available to him. We'll see what route he takes. At a 20 rupee in the turtle room, checking down in the dark room. Have a look at what's down there. There isn't a whole lot left over that could be useful. There's the Swamp Palace small key, so we've got access to Swamp Palace now as well. That is fantastic. Azazaz also picking up his powder. We still don't know what that powder does yet. And recitador right behind him with the powder as well. Not too happy about that powder. sab0tender. Does sab0tender have his big key? He does not have the big key to Palace of Darkness. According to his tracker, he might not have just placed it on his tracker. Yep, he's out. He has no big key. He's gone. Although he does have the bow, so now he'll be getting into Eastern Palace to wrap that up as fast. No, he's just going to flute out. Never mind. And yes, Chaosaur 2 brings up a good point. You need the hammer to finish off Coldstare to even enter his arena. There is no way around it. Looks like sab0tender is going to be making his way into Ice Palace, though. He's running out of options. Everyone is running out of options. I think KillerApp is really the only one of our featured runners right now who has options at all. Well, actually, Asa has most of the things that he needs except Hammer. If he'd gone to Ice Palace first, he'd be in really good shape. He can't get through Palace of Darkness without the Hammer, though. He's got his bow. He's going right through the front door. I'm not sure I don't think he processed it. He just got the bow. KillerApp swapping to the hammer so that he can get some tempered damage instead of Master Sword. Well, the shortcut through the back end of Palace of Darkness requires the bow to enter. It requires the hammer to exit. So he could have gotten 2 chests out of the back of that and not needed to use that key. Well, no, he would have needed to use the key. You're absolutely right. He does have to unlock that door because he doesn't know where Hammer is yet. Because this seed has been an absolute nuisance with its item placement. Yeah, unavailable. Well, that is currently unavailable. He'll be back with us shortly. KillerApp getting off to fight and blind the thief. Excellent fight. KillerApp picks up his boot and his 3rd crystal. Hour and 17 minutes in, 3rd crystal picked up. Not sure where he's going. I don't think he knows where he's going either. Asazas has picked up his Swamp Palace small key, so he'll at least get something out of this Palace of Darkness dive. But without the hammer, he can't finish the place.
All right, Chess. Sorry about that little bit of silence there. My mistake on that. So apparently, I missed the Swamp Palace small key.
It was in the Palace of Darkness U room with the blue crystals or blue rupees.
Of course it was.
Yeah, of course it was.
Palace of Value, man. So anything else major found in Palace of Darkness?
KillerApp hasn't gone back to finish it yet, so we haven't been able to see much of it. Azaz is trying to do the bomb jump. See if he makes it. He's got it. Oh, it's just a heart container.
But we don't know what's in the dark room though. So, but that's gonna.
People have been into the dark room. There wasn't much in there.
So he's used all of his keys though. That's concerning.
Right. He needs to go through the. As it says, what he ended up doing, he actually used the front entrance instead of going through the back entrance first. The back entrance has a Palace of Darkness small key in it. It's just you can't leave the back entrance without the hammer, so he doesn't want to do it.
And he doesn't have the hammer yet because he doesn't have okay.
He hasn't been to Ice Palace yet.
He's been there, but he has to go back. Okay, I get it.
Right, that's right. Because he didn't have this big key.
He didn't go to Hera yet because he has to double dip Ice Palace because he had to go to Hera to get the big key to come back to Ice Palace.
Oh, what a nightmare.
This seed. Ladies and gentlemen, I might need a whiskey.
I think we're all going to need a drink after this.
Oh, man.
Speedruns Live does not encourage drinking.
No. No, no. SRL, Speed Gaming, we do not encourage drinking. And and I have to point out too, asazas has really done some of the best routing. Like, his routing has been solid when it comes to following what the seed wants you to do. But because this seed is a pain in the tuchus,
it was just that choice not to dive Hera. If he dove Hera at the very beginning, he'd have that big key for Ice Palace. He would be so far ahead right now.
And he'd have that hammer. Right now, I can pretty much say KillerApp is in the lead.
KillerApp's got it. KillerApp absolutely has it. Like, even just objectively, he's in the lead. He's got 3. Actually, what? Yeah, Thieves' Town was a crystal as well. So he's got 3 crystals and 1 pendant.
Zets makes a good point. They don't encourage it, but this seed encourages it.
Yes, it does. This seed wants you drunk.
Oh, man. On life. On life. Have we had a Mad Batter check yet?
No one's gone down there yet because no hammers. The alternative is to mirror your way into it.
So, Ted is technically alive? Oh, KillerApp didn't have the powder yet.
Because the powder was in the lunchbox.
Oh, God. He's got to go back now. I didn't even think about that. You get the lunchbox from where the powder's at, and you have to go back. Yep.
This seed has just been item chain after item chain after item chain.
Oh, man.
He's got the powder, though. He's got the hammer. He's just going to jump right past the peg now that he didn't want to get mirrored in, but his placement was a little bit off. He was forced to mirror back to the Dark World.
Okay, so notice... Okay.
He's hesitating. Where's my powder?
He does have the boot, so he has gone where he needs to go. Because, yeah, he has beat Thieves Town.
Have... Small key to Dark Palace.
Which is going to be good for asazas. He's going to have to double dip that pot again.
Right, he needs it because he opened up that... he opened up the front door.
Yes.
I think most of our runners have, actually, which is unusual.
Oh, man. I bet you asazas is going to be happy to see that, but at the same time, it's going to be like, great. He's got to make that play to Ice Palace.
Another small key. The crazy thing is, we have not seen any medallions yet.
No, we have not. Ice Rod and medallions are... We still don't know what Meyer is, then. We still don't know what Meyer is.
We know that Meyer is... Well, yeah, we don't know what the reward for Meyer is. We know we need Ether to enter it.
Yes, we know we need Ether, but that's what I'm saying. We don't know if the medallions are required. Because if that's going to be the last pendant, medallions may not even be required.
Indeed. Something that a lot of runners do know, though, they do know that Swamp Palace is required. And they've got... Some of them have the small key for it. As soon as they go through Palace of Darkness, they've got the small key for that. Ooh, unfortunately, Desert Palace, the side room not paying off.
Nothing but arrows. Here, have 11 arrows. Wasn't the Desert Palace big key, though, in Hera? I thought that was in the big chest.
I don't know if it was Desert Palace, but Tower of Hera did have 2 big keys. I know that for certain.
I'm pretty sure that it was the big key to Desert Palace, because I'm surprised he didn't clear it. He probably just didn't realize he had it.
He doesn't have it marked on his tracker.
So he probably doesn't have it then.
He might have just forgotten about it. Looks like Azazaz is going to be our first one to make a proper dive into Swamp Palace.
Ooh, sab0tender getting hit by that ice drop. That's always rough.
But he's got a fairy. He's fine.
Oh, yes. F for fairy, chat. F for fairy. Now okay. There we go. There we go.
Oh,
That is a way to
he
recover.
was one spin attack away from finishing that off.
Now, Kes, I'm sorry I can't say your name. Kes, the problem is with Asazas is that he did not
can't even go into it. He doesn't have the hammer for Swamp Palace yet.
That's correct. He can only
You
check
need
these
the
front
hammer
two.
to drain the first room.
Oh. My heart hurts.
That early Hera skip is biting him so hard. Because he doesn't want to go back to Ice Palace because he's already dipped into it once. He wants to check other places first. It's literally his only option right now. He's going to Desert.
Okay.
He's going to Mire. Why is he going to Mire? There's nothing at Mire. Asa, what are you doing?
He needs to mirror to get to Desert.
Oh, right, because no book yet.
Yep, still haven't found book. So he's going to check the Desert side, realize, sorry, no.
There's nothing there.
Yep, good old 11 keys. Where are you going, KillerApp?
He doesn't know either. Everyone is so confused.
He's going to Swamp. He's making that Swamp play. Because he's got that key now and he has the hammer. He's going to be able to full clear Swamp.
Yep, he's got everything he needs.
That's where you go, man. Swamp is a needed option, so yeah, do it. And sab0tender's going there too. Yeah, that's definitely the right play right there. And let's see if Az has actually menus at all. I'd like to see this. I doubt he does. He's probably just going to mirror out.
According to his tracker, KillerApp doesn't have the small key. He must have that small key for Swamp Palace. Otherwise, he wouldn't be doing this.
He does. He does. I 100% know because I just saw him.
Yeah, he absolutely has to have it. He absolutely has to.
Yeah, I saw him actually get it whenever he went into the U room in Dark Palace. So I definitely saw that. Which I think Asas is finally. Yes, he's going back to Ice Palace. Thank you.
Oh, thank God.
Asas. Thank you. I'm so happy he's going back. That's really what he needed to do. And I bet you he's going to be so frustrated. But that's what these seeds do, folks. That's what they do. All because of a Tower of Hera or Ice Palace require double dip. There's no way around it. But he's got keys now all around. The big keys, small keys. He'll be fine. I'm pretty sure he's just going to go ahead and run right through it, get done with Cold Stare, and then probably scratch his head where to go next. Probably Swamp Palace.
Once he's got the hammer, a lot of things open up to him. Swamp Palace opens up to him. Palace of Darkness opens up to him. He does have the boots, and I don't know that he's picked up his tracker says he does have the big key to Palace of Darkness, so as soon as he gets the hammer from here, he's good to go.
Yeah, he's pretty much got most of the big keys. I'm pretty sure one of the only ones that we're missing is Desert Palace and Eastern Palace at this point.
The problem is that we still don't have the requisite maps to know where our last crystals are.
That is very true.
We only know where 5 of the 7 crystals are.
Which, once we find out the pendant, we will know exactly where they are. So it's a matter of finding one pendant or having to figure out where the maps are. Oh man, and we're at 128. We would, as commentators, we would have known that by now. But this seed is just being stingy.
Nobody knows. Nobody has that information.
Small key to Ice Palace, not much use there. No use at all, actually. Got it.
Excellent bomb jump from Azazaz.
Yeah, I was worried for a second.
It's a very small window to make that work.
Now, we haven't found a shield yet. We haven't found a 3rd sword upgrade yet. We haven't found Kane. We haven't found Book.
I think if anyone finds Kane at this point, they're gonna hate life. Because if they find Kane, that means the logic is gonna point them towards Turtle Rock.
I think my first hate of life would be if I found Quake first. If I found Quake first, I would probably be screaming and literally just I'd be that meme of the little dog sitting there going, "This is fine."
Everything's fine. Everything's fine.
All the fire around everywhere. This is fine.
Recitador breaking out the hammer to hammer down Trolldorm.
Can't blame him.
Gets his 3 shots. Makes short work of him.
Probably not going to be too happy though.
There's the big key to Ganon's Tower. Swamp Palace left side.
Bombos?
Bombos. Nobody needs bombos.
Did he go to the right side first, KillerApp? What did I miss? Or I guess sab0tender went right side. No.
There is no right side. You start in the right side, and then there's left side, and then there's the top.
I'm talking about, yeah, on the left side. I was wondering if KillerApp started on the... I got it. Never mind. sab0tender... I meant, like, the right side of the left side. And I didn't know if he, like, went the opposite direction that most people go. But no big deal. Then...
Big key to Desert Palace! Everything was locked behind that Ice Palace hammer.
Good lord. And Swamp pays big, man. Swamp... You know, that is a third... Here's another thing for you, though. That big key that was on the bookcase, that was
Dark Palace.
That was Pod. So, yeah, there wasn't much really locked behind that, but you still needed to get that. That's... Good lord. Just trying to figure out the logic in this seed is making my head break.
Well, there's a reason they call it Keysanity.
Right? And some people are trying to vie for it to be called Insanity.
And Chad actually brings up a good question. What is Azza doing?
Going to Pod.
He can't do anything in Pod.
No, he didn't get the hammer. What is it?
Ice Palace had another big key. Eastern Palace and Swamp Palace. Swamp Palace had 3 big keys in it.
So it had Eastern Palace, Desert Palace, and Ganon's Tower.
Yep. Oh, he left without... Oh. Acid didn't get the big chest out of Ice Palace again.
Oh,
he
man.
He has the big key. He can look.
This seed will break your brain. I am 100%. 100%. Yeah, this seed is a painful seed no matter what. So he's gonna have to triple dip Ice Palace now. Poor Azza. But we've got 2 people doing the Argus fight.
Yes.
Was that the Tower of Hair Compass? I
don't know, but I can have a look.
No, it was Tower of Hair map, which he has beaten.
We already know that's useless.
Yeah.
And that's a dead Argus for the small key to Dark Palace.
Hasn't everybody been saying we found everybody? Did they add more pod
That's
keys?
all 6. That's all 6. All 6 pod keys have been found.
Oh, man. He just looked... Desert Palace is a crystal. It's Crystal 7. So it is between Mire and Eastern Palace whether or not we can do Ganon. So we may not even have to go to Mire or Turtle Rock.
This might be no broads, no medallions required. But Swamp Palace, man, Palace of Keys.
He's looking at his map hard. He's like, where do I need to go? Everybody, hold your fingers up against your temples. Give him the light. He needs to go to Ice Palace Big Chest. KillerApp's gonna check the big chest first. I don't blame him here. Or not.
I don't know what he's doing.
Did he forget that he had the mirror equipped?
Whoops.
Yeah.
Just a quick vanity check.
Oh, a compass to Turtle Rock.
So
Nothing.
hammer for
in the
Thieves
big-
Town, absolutely not required. What was in that big chest? I missed that.
Compass to Turtle Rock was in the big chest.
No, in Desert Palace big chest.
Oh, I missed it as well. Restream is showing
Let's have a look.
arrows. Arrow upgrade.
Bummer.
But
Oh,
we can see.
I feel so bad for Azazaz. Like, there's only one move, and he doesn't know what it is.
Yes, it's so difficult. It's very difficult to figure out that one move, especially when it's only one move, because he's missing such a critical item. It's holding him back from everything, because it literally opens up everything. Oh, man. And since we know that Desert is a crystal, that is good, but we still
The big
don't know.
key to Desert is in Swamp Palace, and Swamp Palace is locked behind Hammer.
Yes. Yes, DP is confirmed a crystal, but we do not know what Eastern Palace or Misery Mire is.
So it's still a coin flip whether or not we require Misery Mire. Misery Mire requires either to get into. Oh, he's done it. He's gone back to Ice Palace. He's figured it out.
Yes. Good. Good job, Asazaz. That's amazing.
Recitador, what are you doing with the powder on blind?
I don't know. What was the item on that? I didn't even see.
Boots off of Blind the Thief.
Yeah, well, I knew that, but what was the item off of bombs? Okay, bombs was off of Landmass.
We're about to find out a second time because sab0tender is just about to clean it up as well.
Yeah, so we just had bombs on Landmass there, but of course the 7th crystal. So we know crystal on Desert Palace. KillerApp and sab0tender just killing their Landmass. We need Eastern Palace boss cleared, and if it is a crystal, we are off to Swamp Palace for KillerApp, and then we have go mode pretty much.
Honestly, it might be worth it to just dive into Eastern Palace and just be done with it.
Yeah, because he's got to do pod as well.
They haven't found the big key to Eastern Palace yet, have they?
No, it was in Swamp. There was 3 big keys in Swamp.
Oh, yes, that's right. His KillerApp just hasn't updated his tracker for that. I think everyone is just so done with this seed.
I'm pretty sure he's straight go moding everything he can right now.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I can't blame him at all, though. I'm surprised he didn't go to Dark World first, though, and set up that teleport.
Just
to
warp
be able
out
to go,
and finish them off one after the other, yeah.
Yeah, do pod and or Eastern Palace in whatever order. But then again, with this seed, it's broken so many brains, I'm not surprised.
Also, yes, sab0tender and KillerApp23 both have picked up the Bombos medallion. They found that in Swamp Palace left side as well.
Yeah, they got that right after Ganon's Tower big key. And the big chest holds a small key.
A small key to Dark Palace.
Who is it that's telling us that they're all found? Because
I was convinced that they were all found. I was certain of that.
Maybe that's how they fixed the version 27 logic. They just added another key.
There's just 8 more Palace of Darkness keys just floating around.
Oh man, they're all over the place. What is up with this? As a matter of fact, I'm calling it right now. Armos has a small key to pod.
No, he has a second big key to pod.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. As a matter of fact, he's just gonna morph into the pod boss. He's just gonna turn. Somehow this turned into a random minimizer. Yes.
Oh, he's found it. Azazas has found the hammer. He's back on track.
Oh, the pause. He's just like.
What? Why?
Oh, the frustration. You saw it.
I don't think that was frustration so much as confusion. He just kind of like slowly clicked over to the hammer, pulled it out, and just like, how does this work again?
Thud. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like press F to hammer. Okay, Eastern Palace was a crystal.
Was a crystal, so we know that Misery Mire is the final pendant. We are good to go.
So I don't know if KillerApp knows all of his crystals.
He must know. He must
He
know.
has to. So he is going back to the Dark World portal to go into Pod and finish up Pod. So I think we can definitively call it. Killer App is in go mode.
He's good to go. There's nothing left. All he's got to do after he's done with this: mirror, flute, portal into the Dark World, mirror back into Desert Palace, kill Landmola, and he's on his way.
He needs to kill, according to his tracker, Swamp Palace. He has to kill Argus. No, he has killed Argus. Excuse me.
He's totally killed Argus. He was one of the first two to do it.
Yes, he was. Yes, he was. So, Killer App has killed Argus, and he does need to kill Landmolus. Yes, he does need to kill Landmolus. I'm sitting here trying to think about what I've seen him do. So he does have to kill Landmolus. Wow, this is crazy. This seed has sent you all over the creation of Hyrule. Clear Define lead. Killer App is going to be getting a sub-2 on this seed.
His Killer App's tracker says that he doesn't have the big key for Palace of Darkness yet. Did he ever go back to the library to get that big key? I don't think he ever went back to library for that key, did he?
He doesn't have it. He just did a menu check. He doesn't have the key. No!
Son of a...
No!
There went his lead. That's his lead. His lead is gone.
Oh no! He's got to remember it's on the weirdest of places. He's got to remember the library. Oh my lord.
Well, he is still technically in go mode for dungeons. He just can't finish the dungeon yet.
Yeah, he's technically not go mode yet. He doesn't have the big... So no, not officially go mode.
Oh boy.
He's in item go mode.
Oh, sab0tender getting a nice lucky shot off on Trolldorm, getting his last one. Almost got pushed off the edge.
He knows.
Not going to be happy with what he sees.
Killer App knows. He's going straight for it.
He knows. He's going for it. Nice.
Okay, so
as soon as he gets that key, he's good to go. Yes, he's in no mode. KNOW mode.
Now he's officially in go mode.
Now
he's officially in go mode. So now we have go mode. Now we officially have go mode. Killer App, you can have it. Go on your way, sir.
Thank you very much for the offered drink, Cyclone. I'm gonna need it. And Killer App knows what he's into. He's stashing up on his drinks.
Would you have traded both fairies for that? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. Being a better runner, being a top tier runner, yes. You have more control over your potions than you would over a fairy. I agree with that.
You're also only getting 7 hearts with a fairy. The blue potion is a full restore.
That is very true. So now all he's got to do is just finish up Pod, finish up Desert Palace, and he is on his way. He knows the way. He knows the way.
SSS, where are you going? Where are you going? You have the hammer. Go back inside. Thank God.
Would you please beat that boss?
No! What are you doing? You have the hammer. You've been to the room. Go back.
Why is he going to Pod?
Oh.
Hold on. How many things does he have? What is going on here? Did he already beat it and we just missed it? What is going on here?
Did. It's on his tracker. I think we just missed him killing Cold Stare.
He's got 3. Yeah, he had to have killed
his
Cold
personal tracker says that he has Cold Stare. I think we just missed it.
He has Cold Stare. These heart attacks have got to stop. I can't afford the medical bills. Oh man. Yes, okay. He's got Cold Stare. He's heading to Pod. That's okay. He's going to be able to go Eastern Palace as well.
He's got everything he needs in Pod.
No, he can't
go to Eastern Palace, yeah, because he doesn't have the big key from Swamp Palace.
He's got to go to Swamp Palace. Oh, man. I still can't believe this was an Aga-required seed. I want to point that out, folks. This was an AGA required seed in Keysanity.
And it still looks like KillerApp might come in under 2 hours if he really hustles.
The last bosses that he has to kill, I mean, Pod is a relatively easy boss. He's already almost there. And Landmolus is just breeze. Landmolus is really fast. So he's gonna get in Ganon's Tower, and it's just gonna be a matter of getting.
Actually, according to KillerApp's personal tracker, he has Desert Palace done. This is his last boss.
Okay then. I thought he had done it.
That's right. He absolutely did do it because I missed the kill, and then I was like, "Hey, we're gonna find out what he dropped. sab0tender is just about to kill him too."
Yeah, because him and sab0tender have almost been identical until now, when he's going to kill the last boss. So yeah, he's.
Oh my god. I'm so done after this.
Yes. And I cannot say this enough. Guys, listen. These folks just put themselves through hell for you on this seed. Please follow sab0tender, KillerApp23, asazas, and recitador. They are doing a fantastic job providing us heart attacks.
They've gone through hell, and they've done it very expertly.
Third bottle for KillerApp. Wow, man, that's a lot of things that Skip that's usually used. Did he not go all the way to He's going to Swamp Palace. That's right, because he didn't
have a hammer.
He didn't have the
He
hammer.
couldn't have entered Swamp Palace.
Well, does he not have the pod big key? He would have had to have, right?
House of Darkness big key is on the book. I don't know that he's gotten it yet. Let me look at his... He does have it according to his tracker.
Yes, because he was one of the first ones to get it.
At this point, I think his brain is just scrambled. He's just done.
I'm scrambled trying to figure out
easy.
Just everything, man. Oh my lord. So KillerApp is heading into Ganon's Tower. We're going to see how good he does on his gauntlet. Whew.
Oh, that's actually a good point. Dragon Master 0283 brings up a good point. Asa has been into Palace of Darkness several times. He's consumed his keys for that. He needs more keys in order to progress. Small keys.
Well, there's 8 in the entire game, apparently.
There's 14 Palace of Darkness small keys.
Yeah, right? Which we know one of them, one of the last ones is in Eastern Palace, which the Eastern Palace big key is in Swamp Palace.
So he's doing Swamp Palace now, so that'll put him on the right track for that at least.
Yeah, so he's getting back on the right track, but it's going to be interesting out of our other 3 racers right now to know, and really sab0tender is probably second in line to really look at this. He's got Eastern Palace and Pod to go, according to the tracker right now. He's going to be good.
Unfortunately, sab0tender's personal tracker is not on his stream, so we're just going to have to trust our own trackers on that one.
I believe it. I'm pretty sure that one's pretty caught up. I would like to go ahead and mention again, by the way, that Asazas does have Ice Palace done. He is working on Swamp Palace right now. Once he finishes that, he will have Desert Palace, Eastern Palace, and Pod to go, because the big keys for those locations are in Swamp Palace.
In Swamp Palace, every single one of them.
Except for Pod, which was on the bookcase, which he's already got. So he is on his way. Right now, sab0tender is going to finish up, apparently, Desert Palace. I thought he had that.
And KillerApp enters Ganon's Tower at 1 hour, 48 minutes, and 1 second. Has all the keys, has the big key. He's going straight for the top.
Still no dot duns. So we still have a first place finish possible on our stream. Which I'm not surprised. At the rate that this seed is gone, I am not even surprised. I'm always interested to see the gauntlet strats that some of these folks use, because the gauntlet gives me some of the worst troubles. Those ice rooms, I hate them.
I always have the most trouble with the Igors that KillerApp just walked right over. Not the Igors, mimics.
Yeah, the mimics. The first mimic room's fine for me. That second one always tends to body me.
Oh, careful, Killer, careful.
Don't be doing that. But he's got a potion.
He also has a significant lead. But yes, honestly, with a seed like this, there's so many instances of I found the item. It's obvious where this item should have been. I should have gone here first. And he's probably thinking, oh God, someone's going to finish. Oh God, someone's going to finish.
I don't blame him for this at all. That is a good safety to go ahead and get. Just fill up. Save your potions for when you need them, if you need them on Ganon. Because even with red mail, Ganon hurts.
Absolutely. Also, of note, they don't have temper.
No, they don't.
They have to spin slash Ganon in order to do damage to him.
That is a tough fight.
They have silvers for the third phase, but he'll have to spin slash up until that phase.
Getting to that phase is tough. And even then, it's not even just that third phase, it's the fourth phase that you use silvers. Third phase, you've got to dodge the fire that he throws at you in order to be able to spin slash, and that's tough.
Well, I don't really consider the whole jumping up and removing the outer ring part to be a phase, because you can't really damage him all that much in that phase. It's kind of scripted. It's like an intermission. I can see how that works.
You have to hit him once in order for him to knock down the tiles. You still have to hit him once.
Fair enough.
So that's one of the things.
So yeah, 3 phases they've got to go through with just Master Sword.
That's rough. Like the second phase is the hardest. The third phase is not far behind on difficulty. Having a little bit of trouble with Lamulus too, which this fight's not easy with the fact that that little fireball guy throwing fire at you.
Yeah, you'd be shocked how much more difficult this fight can be with just adding that one random element into it. Oh yeah. And if you don't have silvers, the ice Armos, if you have to go through that on an open seed or whatever, is not easy either. It can be a little bit more difficult because of positioning and things like that. So. Meanwhile, off in Swamp Palace, Azazaz is picking up his. Oh, they don't have Cane. They can't quick kill the Wizrobes. That's true. I was just realizing that myself. How about that? A Caneless seed. We didn't even see the cane. No, the cane is missing. I'd be checking chests. Ooh, I'd be checking only chests. 3 to check. Yeah, true. I'd still be checking 4 with the last chest with right, Trolldorm 2, Trolldorm's Revenge. I would still be checking. I totally would. I absolutely would as well. I'd be crossing my fingers for that sword progression. Yeah, just for temper, just to make my life easier. Even though I'm a pleb, I don't care. I'd still be checking. So Azazaz, whilst we've been gushing over Killer App getting through Ganon's tower as quickly as he has been, Azazaz has actually made his way to Argus. He's picked up most of his big keys on the way up as well. I certainly hope he has. Back to Misery Mire. He'll be finishing off Argus in short order, and Recitador will be coming up behind him very shortly. Yeah, so Recitador's doing that, and sab0tender's finishing up his Eastern Palace. Probably going to dip into pod right after that. Unless we just missed him doing that. And I missed what the chests were. Obviously not a sword, obviously not anything of noting. A map, 5 rupees, and 3 bombs. Come on, Trolldorm 2! Let's hope that the chest of Dairy Queen has something amazing. The AGDQ chest, as I like to call it now. Soft serve, 20 rupees. Wrong red item. Azaz's doing a great job on killing his Argus. That was very good. Now he's going to be able to get his last 3 pretty quickly. I mean, the hardest of the bosses is probably... they're all easy. I can't call any of them hard. Alright, let's go Aga2. Not a bad setup. A little bit awkward. Yeah. Was that a double or single? Single. He missed 2 of them, unfortunately. It was a rough setup. I can see why. This is going to be a long one. Oh, Lord. Of course. Of course. We get, like, what, 6, 7 blue balls in the Aga1 fight? 1, 1, 1. I think it was 5. It was not kind. Oh, there's a triple. Finishing with a triple. That was magnificent.
I love seeing it. That's the way to go out with a bang. sab0tender getting his Eastern Palace Armos Knight kill. Gonna go right back into pod and get his pod kill. I'm pretty sure he got his big key.
Oh god, I certainly hope so.
Otherwise,
this is going to be such a heartbreaker. Otherwise,
right? Which? He doesn't have it.
oh no,
Sabo.
he's probably hoping it's in those last couple of chests that he didn't check. Meanwhile, KillerApp23 has entered Ganon fight. We still don't have a dot done. We could have a first place on screen.
And the way it's going, if Sabo goes and gets his big key off of that bookcase and remembers that, we could have a second place too. This seed has just not been kind.
All that said, though, the fact that these runners are going to be finishing in approximately 2 hours on a seed like this is phenomenal.
Absolutely fantastic. And there's his Dark Palace key. Please finish the dungeon, Asazas. Oh!
The Boker finishes in first place with 1 hour, 55 minutes, and 58 seconds, just in front of KillerApp.
Oh, man. Oh, man. GG, Act the Boker. But
I wonder if he found the Tempered Sword somewhere.
I'm wondering the same thing. I was actually thinking that myself. Honestly, on a seed like this, if I don't have the Tempered, and this is kind of me, I'm not very good at Monosword or Master Sword Ganon. I'm actually very bad at it. I would probably check those easy first 2 chests on the right, and then kind of gauge. I wouldn't go all the way through.
He is on the last phase, and he did get the torch glitch. He got a double. He only needs 1 more double to finish Ganon off.
And he'll get it if he selects arrows.
Nah, he was on the wrong side for the double. 1 more shot.
Boom.
That's dead.
And KillerApp, I'm calling it, not done, 157.08, finishing in 2nd place. That was fantastic. Ah. Woo! GT Big Key was in the left side of Swamp.
I like how the first words of the completion text for "I'm sorry."
Yeah, right.
The seed is very sorry about this. And we have a 3rd place finisher, Problems IRL, with this SRL official time of 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 42 seconds.
So we have a real possibility of KillerApp.
Hey.
Sir, GG.
GG.
What were your thoughts on this seed?
Oh my god. I know I came first. I even had it written down that the Dark Palace big key was... there was a big key in the library.
The funny thing is that's what cost you first place.
I know. That I knew that had to cost me first. Like, I'm surprised I finished 2nd. Although I could see why that early play on ice helped.
Yeah, the routing definitely helped. And with you saying surprised that you finished 2nd, we just kind of had a slight flood of dot duns coming in. We're on 5th place now. GamerCal finishing 4th, 158 even. And then right behind him, 158.24 in C None has gotten 5th place. And we've got, that's it, 6th place, or 5th place. Sorry, I thought I saw a 6th place finish, but
5th and 6th place simultaneously by the same person.
Wow.
oh
Yeah, it got pretty linear because you had to go to one place to
The
get
beginning of the seed was incredibly straightforward.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't easy, but it was straightforward.
Yeah, and I was sort of in a deficit because I'd used up all my bombs in escape, and it ended up costing me time and didn't get anything out of it.
You didn't really have much else choice, though. There was no weapon for the longest time.
I know.
In fact, the game logic would have required you to find an Aghanim's Tower key, get the lamp from Aghanim's Tower, then go up Death Mountain to get your first sword.
Real quick, I want to point out sab0tender is having trouble finding that last big key for Pod. So he is having the unfortunate consequence of forgetting that there is one on. Oh, but when in doubt, flute to 3. He remembered. He slashed. He's on his way there now.
Oh man, yeah, that was easy to forget because it was
one of your first checks. It's so long ago.
You were like looking for items, and it's easy to pass up if you don't write it down that there was something to come back to when you found the boots.
He bombs it.
He bombs it. I will say this too, though. The fact that y'all also had to go through Aga, like the logic on this required you to go check Aga first, by the way, to go get your lamp, to go back into Eastern to get the hook shot, and so much.
It was crazy.
So much back and forth. You had to double dip either Hera or Ice Palace because
it was required. They had each other's big keys.
They both had each other's big keys.
So the fact that you dipped Hera before Ice Palace is, I think, that's what gave you the upper hand among our.
No, the Hera big key was in Ice Palace. So I had to do Ice Palace first, yeah.
Yes, but the Ice Palace big key was in Hera. You going up to Hera first.
Oh yeah,
is what gave you the big key for Ice Palace to just sweep it.
Yeah, I did that because the hammer really didn't unlock anything, because I didn't have the small key for Swamp to do that. So I thought, might as well go up to Hera. It's the only dungeon I could complete.
The book was on pedestal.
The what was on pedestal?
The book.
And the storybook sleeps again forever.
Oh, I didn't even pay attention to that. Oh boy. Gotta love those seeds.
Yeah, man. This seed was something else. This is the first ever time that I've seen Aga required in a Keysanity. I've not seen that yet. Yeah,
this is the first seed I've played that Aghanim was required.
Yeah,
I've had before where stuff was on Lumberjack and I had to do Aga Tower. But...
Now, here's another thing. No Kane.
Yeah, I was waiting to see that, and I'm like, no Kane, no medallions either. That was really weird.
You did find the Bombos medallion, but you didn't need any medallions, Frank.
Yeah, that was really odd.
Yeah,
I was ready to full clear both Mire and Turtle Rock because I had all the keys to do both, but no way to enter.
Now, I will say this: while we have sab0tender going through Pod and doing his Pod clear, Recitador is on his way to Ganon's Tower right now. And we do have a few more duns. Let me go back and make sure I don't double cover anybody. We have
Korik in 6th place with a time of 2 hours 35 seconds, and Error 7th place with 2 hours 1 minute and 36 seconds.
So we could still have a top 10 finish on both Recitador and sab0tender, but it's going to be pretty close. I have a feeling that, as a matter of fact, asazas is on his way up to Ganon's Tower right now. So sab0tender, because of that key,
he lost that key. That put him in last place for our featured runners.
That put him behind those other two. So back to you, KillerApp. What was the worst part of this seed for you? Like, literally, what was the part that you were like, oh god, this seed, why?
Honestly, just the beginning was really tough because you had to make do with bombs.
Just trying to find anything.
Beginning, yeah. And then I did Houlihan, but still was short of rupees for Zora.
Which ended up having nothing.
Get some sort of rupees in the waterfall, but... But after that,
we
it was
saw
really
you
fun.
Camped out in front of Zora's River trying to bomb the crabs, trying to get that one last big 20 to just make it work.
Yeah, that was just fail fish.
I think everybody forgot that they had shovel to dig for rupees, like, because unfortunately Zoras don't drop anything. They drop bombs and they drop arrows. That's their highest.
Yeah, those little Zoras do drop rupees. I've collected rupees from them before, but I usually have a sword to kill them all.
Instead of bombs, and just bomb them twice to make them do anything.
Right, exactly. Man, this seed, man. This seed is something else. Sab0tender's going to buy some potions first before he actually heads up. I don't blame him one bit.
The seed destroys sobriety.
And funny enough, Recitador is doing the same thing that you did, KillerApp. He is going to be getting that safety. He's going to grab those 2 fairies.
I don't blame either of you for having done that.
Yeah, I just did it because I was planning on not finding Tempered. So I was planning on a Master Sword Ganon, so that I want to get at least one.
sab0tender gets himself rock blocked.
Oh no, rock. Oh, I hate those. Those guys are a pain. Same
in
with
fact, Azazas is going in for the fairies too.
that's great. And we have Haiku Type finishing in 8th place with an official SRL time of 2:04:44. GG Haiku Type. So we have got basically 9 and 10th coming up, and we're gonna see what happens. We're probably gonna have at least one more come in. I don't think we're gonna have our next 2 runners finish at 9th and 10th. I feel like they're gonna be. Yeah, I'm hoping they finish 9th and 10th, but we'll see. We'll see. It's usually about this time, whenever you start seeing the .duns coming in, that everybody just kind of floods in all at once. A lot of snipes happen.
So we've talked about bad moments in this seed, but Killer, how did you feel about finding the hammer in Ice Palace?
It felt good when I found it because I felt that searching in the dungeon was probably the best bet for finding the next progressive item. And I found hammer in Ice Palace before because we got the early Ice Palace big key. Mm-hmm. And I knew I could check all the chests that wasn't hammerlock because I had the hook shot.
So being able to go in there and grab and find the hammer on the way in must have been an absolute relief.
Yeah, because then I could just complete the dungeon right there, then and there as well.
I bet you were also happy whenever you decided to do pod a little bit early and find the bow.
Yeah, that was. I thought it would really help. Like, but it ended up that I couldn't even complete the dungeons because the big keys were so late in the game.
No pod big key, no hammer.
Yeah.
Pod was almost guaranteed to be a double dip. There were so many double dips in this particular run just because of all the wild stuff that had to happen. And the fact that you have to do this gauntlet without the cane, poor Asazas is having a hard time of it.
Yeah, I can see this being a problem for people who haven't practiced without the cane.
You have the cane so often, and it's so easy if you have the cane. You just plant the block and walk.
Yeah.
Well, and on top of that, though, the cane is usually always required because the chances of both Mire and Turtle Rock being a pendant, like that's so low. On top of not being required to clear one anyway or use one anyway, like not having to dip into Turtle Rock or Mire for anything. Turtle Rock in particular, with all that value in there, it probably had both other swords, if not one of the sides of Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, Fire Rod works well on the in those rooms as well if you don't have the cane, and having half magic
really does help. Yeah,
you guys had half magic pretty early.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Sure did. It was actually in the.
It was Mini Moldorm Cave, I believe.
Yeah, Mini Moldorm Cave. That's exactly where it was.
Left chest on Mini Moldorm.
And for one, Hype Cave was actually Hype Cave.
I figured it had to have at least something, because
yeah, where else?
It wasn't anywhere else.
Yeah, where else is it gonna be?
So yeah, SRL has 2 more finishers. Troopster finishing in actually quite a few more people. Hassasel in 9th place, 2 hours 6 minutes and 13 seconds. Bellamy in 10th place, 2 hours and 7 minutes and 50 seconds. Troopster in 11th place, 2 hours 8 minutes 12 seconds. Imusaro in 12th place, 2 hours 8 minutes 26 seconds.
And I think everybody is going to be blaming Bellamy because he really liked the seed.
I honestly liked the seed as well. Just the beginning was.
Yeah, the beginning was definitely rough because all it gave you was a bunch of utility items. It really didn't give you anything else.
No.
I mean,
I liked it. I thought it was a fun seed.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, Asazas, get him. There you go. Good. He ended up getting super speed. Trolldorn. And we do have one more finisher. We have, or no, two, excuse me, Slim Kirby finishing at 13th with a official SRL time of 2:09:03, and then Dow TMB finishing at 14th, 2:09:29. Very close behind each other. GG, folks, wonderful job. Gonna kind of focus in on the fact that we have two people going into Aghanim at the exact same time.
Yeah, it looks like our featured runners are going to be right up behind folks that have already finished up.
This is all going to come down to execution.
Unfortunately, having watched KillerApp's fight of it, there really wasn't a lot of room for good execution.
Not on Aghanim.
Not on Aghanim, no.
Definitely not. Even though KillerApp did finish strong with that 3-hit, that was good to see. And I know that it's going to come down again in execution. They're probably going to kill him right around the same time, and it's going to come down to who can do Mana Sword better. Who can do magic. I keep saying Mana Sword like it's Secret of Mana. Like,
well, we do have Pupoi on sab0tender, so that could be why you're getting a little confused.
Pupoi best part. Pupoi best part.
Pupoi.
I love Pupoi. I love Secret of Mana. It
is a really good sprite. Whoever did the work for that did a fantastic job.
Yes, and they were really close to making it very close to Link sprite, so you don't mess up on bomb jumps and things like that. So I was very pleased with that. Although I will say either Sonic or Mega Man is coming up close to a second favorite, because both those sprites are awesome too.
And we have Recitador making it into the big pig. Asazas right on his tail.
Did you know that the heaviest cheese ever produced was 57 some odd pounds? Our local cheese expert. Alright, let's see how well they can do their Ganon Master Sword. Magical Master Sword fight. And we've got sab0tender doing his version of Agatu. Hitsoyan1337, otherwise known as Leet, has finished with an SRL time of 2:11:53 in 15th place.
So not quite the 2-hour seed that I was worried it was going to be, but still pretty high up there.
Hey, you were claiming 3 hours. Like, you were looking to keep us here for 3 whole hours. Like you had a.
It looked bad. It looked real bad at the beginning.
It did. It looked rough at the beginning. Ooh, Azazaz, come on. Do you have a potion?
No.
Does he have a fairy?
He did.
F for fairy? F for fairy?
Fairy. F for fairy.
Buff fairy. I think, yeah, I'm not surprised. I think he has one more fairy as well. I think all the bottles that he grabbed were fairies.
I think Recitador is okay as well because he actually went out of his way to catch fairies.
Yeah, and I think that's what KillerApp did. He released fairies in order to be able to get the potions. So
I like when the Samus Aran sprite dies, it becomes just suitless Samus.
Yeah,
I've never seen that before.
Oh, have you seen the what is it? The Nature Link? Have you seen what Nature's Link bunny sprite is?
I have not.
It's him running around covering himself. Oh, it's absolutely priceless. Ooh, nice hit by Recitador. That was really nice. sab0tender getting into the big pig now. This is really awesome. 3 of our racers all on Ganon at the same time. This could come down to just a matter of making sure they hit it right without falling. That's about it. Almost a triple. That was close on Asazaz. Ooh. One. Asazaz gets the kill just before.
Oh, he earned that. He earned that. After all of that nonsense with the hammer, he earned that.
Asazaz finishes with official SRL time in 16th place, 2:13:53, just ahead of Recitador, 17th, 2:13:58. Wow. Wow.
I'm sorry. Your princess is in another castle.
I wish they would have just cut it at "I'm sorry." Like,
I wouldn't blame them. Like they just walk in and they just throw their controller in the air. It's like, I'm done. I'm so done here.
ooh. Right, we're gonna get the asazas and recitador in here. If they want to, of course. If they want to.
I wouldn't blame them. They just want to immediately walk away and bleach their mind of this event.
Recitador's coming in, and there's Recitador. There he goes. I was wondering if you had a mic. I'm pretty sure you did.
Hello.
Hello. Congratulations on finishing this absolute hell.
Right.
Yeah, that start was just what.
What was that start? I can't even.
Yeah, I had a few problems. I normally houlihan, and I got a 300 right off the bat, and I was like, okay, maybe I don't houlihan, and then I got bombs from the hoarder, and I was like, okay, maybe I really don't need to houlihan. Then I got the flippers, and I was like, well, let me just farm over here because it's about the same as houlihaning, and I got to like 485, and I was like, I can find 15 somewhere. It's fine. It wasn't fine. Never have I regretted not picking up a 20 sitting on the forest so much.
Oh, that's right. Wasn't there a 20 rupee just sitting out in the open in Lost Woods?
Yep, and I was like, I don't need that.
Oh, man.
Famous last year. And then I tried to go to the mountain without the lamp because I knew the lamp was kind of available, and I usually can do that dark room, but I don't do it forward very much. And I've done it with the hookshot only before, and apparently the map in my brain just shut down today. So I ended up having to go back and do it all the legit way. And as soon as I got the key from the old man, I was like, it's an agaseed. And then I saw the sword, and I was like, it's a freaking agaseed.
Time to go.
Well, I still had to check the rest of the mountain, though, because I didn't have everything.
Oh! sab0tender dies on the frame he got his potion.
No!
Oh, man.
Oh, sab0tender.
I honestly didn't expect to finish this trash this quick.
Yeah, I was expecting to be here for another hour. The way that things started in the beginning, I thought this was going to be 3 hours, but you guys knocked it out of the park in the second half.
I am assuming, based on how late the good people finished, that there was some form of access to Mire and or Turtle Rock deeper in Pod that I couldn't get to.
I don't think anybody did Mire or Turtle Rock. None of our featured runners did it. There was actually nobody found the medallions to even get into them.
Let alone the cane. I'm going to go ahead and bring Azazaz in real fast.
Yeah, sure.
Azazaz!
Hello.
Hello.
Well, that could have gone better.
So how do you feel about Ice Palace?
I think I'm going to have nightmares today with ice and with
I thought you loved it because you went in there like 6 times.
I counted 4, but I mean, I don't know. It's just this thing that you forget. I completely forgot I had the big key when I went in, and then I went back to Palace of Darkness, and I forgot I didn't have a key. Well, I mean, everything went downhill from there.
It's okay. Ice Palace got me too because I didn't bomb jump because I didn't have the hammer, and then I didn't have keys, and I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Even with all of that back and forth for Ice Palace, though, you still came in 15th place out of almost 30 runners. That's really impressive.
And just barely sniping Recitador, actually. Like, you came back out of the featured runners. Literally, you two came back to back, as you can see in IRC. But like, you had all those complications, and you came back around and finished second out of the featured runners. So impressive.
Well, I guess I got a little bit lucky, I guess, in that sense. I was a bit scared about that cannon fight, actually.
I would
Master Sword, and I forgot to pick up a potion because I usually do. I usually stack up on potions because it's better to do that than to die anywhere. But I forgot this time because I mean my mind wasn't in this game, I think, anymore.
I don't think anybody's mind was in this game after a certain point. Like around the 1 hour mark, everyone just kind of checked out.
I don't blame them. This seed was not easy. This seed was rough.
No, it was a little bit tough. I enjoyed the beginning. I surely enjoyed the beginning of the seed.
I think you might be the only one.
I don't know. I kind of like the beginning, like the items, the seed threw at you at the beginning. Like here you have the blue cane, just like deal with it and use it as a weapon for 15 minutes. I don't know. I kind of.
I mean,
A
I'm
couple
not
of you made
against.
really good use of that cane.
Yes, I was going to say you made really good use of that.
It's not the first time I've had to go up Aga Tower with just bombs to get something, but I was not appreciative of the fact that I had to go back.
sab0tender gets his kill, and Ganon has gone down. He is Dunning with a official SRL time of 2:19.59, finishing in 22nd place.
Ding dong, the pigs are dead.
Ding dong, the pigs are dead. We'll get him in here as well, but I will say this: as what we're gonna go ahead and ask you first. What are your major thoughts on the seed? Like, what was the worst part to you? What was the best part?
Other than Ice Palace, because that's
Other than
pretty
Ice
obvious.
We really we know your love for Ice Palace, so it's okay.
No. I mean, it was so long ago. Some things in the seed I don't even remember about them. But
It was a long one. I don't blame you.
Yeah, I kind of didn't like. I would have liked a better sword for most. For most of the seed, and I kind of like that neither Mr. Meyer or Tororo were required. Or I didn't even fight the medallions for any of the two. So
The logic didn't even require you to enter them at all.
Yeah, and as I said, I didn't even fight any medallions. Well, I found bombos,
But by the time you had bombos, you didn't need
good for,
bombos because
right?
Ice Palace was done.
Yeah, finally, at that point. But yeah, and even with Mr. Meyer and Toro out of the logic, it was quite a hard seed. It talks about some circumstances of randomizer that you find every now and then.
Absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and bring sab0tender in since he has finished, and we will go ahead and ask him his thoughts as well. sab0tender, hey man.
Hey everybody.
Is your brain still in your skull after that?
Somehow, yeah.
Yeah, definitely GG to you, man. I'm sorry to see that death on Ganon, dude. But you came back and you rocked him out and managed to finish at sub 220, dude. That was very good job.
Thanks, yeah. Kind of hard at the end there, but yeah, that's how these things go sometimes.
It does happen. It's one of those unfortunate things. So what are your thoughts on this seed, man? What are your thoughts?
I actually thought it was a lot of fun despite my terrible gameplay. Having to do an AGA 1 for the first time in a while was a lot of fun. Yeah, no, all the pieces kind of came together just a little slower than I would have liked, I guess.
Understandably. Yeah, understandably. This seed was something else. It was really just no weapons early or having to use bombs and just like everything that it could possibly do to send you to the weird places. Forced double dibs. Oh.
There was really only one thread of logic that you could follow until you hit Swamp Palace. At that point, it opened up, but until then, you were on rails.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And then there was the big key bonanza there in Swamp Palace.
And as a matter of fact, I would like to say as well, both Recitador and Asazas dodged a bullet of finishing before you because you had to go back and get the pod key.
I couldn't figure out where that thing was. That was the thing that really put me back quite a few minutes there.
Yeah, you spun your wheels on that for a bit.
Yeah, I actually thought I might have to forfeit. I really had no idea. Then all of a sudden it kind of dawned on me. I had forgotten that one spot.
I had a big feeling that was going to play a critical role in a lot of these runs. I just, for some reason, when I saw it, I was like, that's either going to be a Ganon Tower key or it's going to be something they have to come back for, that's something they're going to forget. It was just so early of a check, so easy to forget. So, but kind of going back to Recitador here, we asked S says the best and the worst of it. What are your thoughts on that end, man?
Worst rupees. I will never not Houlihan again. That was a terrible mistake. And it was this progress was a little slow, but overall the seed wasn't terrible. I actually kind of enjoy bombing Aga Tower a little bit. It's fun. It's kind of hilarious. It's different. I don't like the double dip part, but and also the best was not having any option of going into Missouri Mire or Turtle Rock at all. Like, it was not on the table. No ice rod, no cane, no medallions. That part was amazing.
I actually completely agree on that. Those are like literally my least two favorite places to go. And the fact that this seed was just like, nah, man, y'all are good. We've done put you through a ringer too much. Y'all avoid TR.
We're gonna put you through a different ringer today.
I was 100% expecting the Vanilla Big Key and Turtle Rock to have something important, but it never came.
I'm very happy to see that it didn't force y'all to go in there. That was definitely, as far as trolls go, it trolled y'all a lot, and I'm glad to see. I've never seen a Keysanity have Aga required, because there's so many things that have to fall into place, and the fact that it made it required, I was definitely fist pumping that.
I've had a much worse version of Aga required before because of something in the Lumberjack and the pieces for Aga being behind Fat Fairy.
Ew.
Ooh.
Ew. Everybody's like cringing at that.
Yeah, including the boots as one of those pieces, so you can imagine how long it took to get those. It was the boots and the Castle Tower Key were in Fat Fairy. And
That's evil.
Wow. Holy. Wow. So, any final thoughts?
I'm glad that I finished in less than 3 hours.
Right.
I think a lot of people are glad that they finished in sub 3 hours. This was a nasty one.
All right, what about your thoughts, sab0tender, since we got you in here a little bit late? The best of it, the worst of it. What are your thoughts?
Okay, let's see. So I think the best was, for me, actually, it was the Aga play, because I don't get to do that too often. So that was kind of fun. The worst was, I gotta say, it was my Ice Palace bomb jump. I got a lot of work to do on that, apparently. I thought I was good at that, but that was just embarrassing how I failed so hard on that.
Sometimes it can get you. You're using Papoy, aren't you?
That's right, yes, I am.
Oh, see, that sprite's a little wider. It makes the bomb jump harder.
It actually does. It's close to, and it's very close. I said this earlier, that it is close, but it's actually a little harder to do. I had some trouble with it myself. So that sprite can actually cause you a little bit of trouble.
Just got to get a little bit of practice in.
Absolutely. So I do want to point out to everybody in chat that's hanging out, we do have 2 more races going on at 8 p.m. Eastern Time and 11 p.m. Eastern Time here on Speed Gaming 2. We have the open seed at 8, and then we have a standard hard seed at 11. Anything you want to say to close this out there, Dunning Hart?
I need a drink.
Yeah, I need a drink too. This seed was definitely something else. But I do want to thank everybody for coming out. Again, please follow the racers. KillerApp23, sab0tender, recitador, asazas. They did a fantastic job. They put on an amazing show for such a good, god-awful seed. And also, shout out again to our trackers, Math Girl, as well as I just blanked.
I think they've already bailed. They're gone. They're done.
They have. I don't blame them for being done at all. But you know what? That's what we have a command for.
Return to the Jeff A and Math Girl 718. Thank you very much for your patience and your ability working behind the scenes to keep us all up to date as much as humanly possible. It's a hard job. It's a silent job. It's a thankless job. So I'm thanking you. Excellent job.
Yes, give them a follow. They definitely deserve it completely. They all deserve it. So, but I guess we can close that out. Thank you again, gentlemen. I really appreciate y'all's entertainment for us tonight, and thank you for being a part of Speed Gaming Crew. And please join us again later on at 8 and 11 p.m. Have a great night, folks.
And tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that, and the day after that,
and then. Have
a good day, folks.